Alright, you can go ahead and leave that bush shed if you want. Thank
Let's go! Heck yeah! Toxic, I'm here, let's go! You guys are legendary. Love you guys. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. You have no idea. We are really telling spooky freaking stories tonight about our real life experiences, and we want to hear from you. So I'm so excited to have y'all here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alrighty, I am gonna hop on in the Discord. Alrighty.
on the end of this May month. I will be doing some massive giveaways. I'm talking about free starter kits for Freshen Up, which, by the way, if you do command Freshen Up in the chat, gives you the link, or at least theoretically it should, if Botrix decides to cooperate today. If not, it's down in my panels, and also in my bio, there's a sort of link tree kind of thing. It's the Solo Me or whatever it is, Solo 2. So yeah, if you check that out, you should be good.
Hello?
Hi!
Hi! What's that?
Doing some housekeeping during the intro here.
Do we want to leave this channel open, or do we want to bring people into it? Quick question.
So I was thinking, since we might get multiple people at once, possibly, that we'll have them sit in the waiting lobby and then bring people in like one at a time, maybe.
Okay, good, because I did lock it, so we could drag them in. So that's, I just wanted to make sure if you wanted it that way, or if you wanted to keep it completely unlocked.
No, that is perfect. I'm just getting the rest of my stuff.
Oh my gosh, did you hear my husband? Oh, you want to come talk now, but whenever I asked you to be part of it, no.
Can I
Get
adios,
amigos. What a weenie, I swear.
Now he wants to come hang out because Miss is here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I see.
You know it. All right, so, baby, stop. Gosh. He won't stop. Make him stop, Missy. Make him stop. Okay.
Knock it off. Wait, where is the script?
I have mine up. I sent it to you, so you can pull it from there.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. Let me switch it to our podcast scene now. $1 bills, y'all.
So yeah, guys, if we get to 100 subs by the end of the pay cutoff here for August, huge giveaways, free starter kit for Freshen Up. I was gonna do some other goodies, gift cards for some of my other affiliates, and all sorts of neat stuff. So keep on watching the Twitter. My words did not want to work there for a second.
I was wondering what you were going to say in place of Twitter. I was like, where are we going? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
Okay, me too. Let me move my things around here since I was messing with everything. So that I'm not all flustered and crowded.
No,
okay, so we got that here.
Perfectly fine.
We got the Discord here. Did that pop out the voice chat for me? Ugh. Let's see.
Wait, what? No.
Pop out. There we go.
Bring that back.
There.
How do I get it to let me do that? Babe! Never mind. He's gonna be like, what? Now you want me back? What? No, you can keep your happy booty over there. Have at it, Haas. Okay, I need to make this smaller.
I need... That is not correct. Okay.
Okay, doctor.
That's smaller. There we go. Okay. So that's what's important.
Santy, what's up, baby? Let's go.
Alrighty. Are you on the campfire scene?
I am.
Wonderful.
Yes,
Me too
yes.
now.
Let's go.
Not sure why it looks like that, but that's okay. We'll figure that out.
Yes, yes, yes.
My chat looks tiny, so I'm gonna move it over here.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
La 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 love it.
Alrighty.
I hate it.
You hate it?
I hate this, oh my gosh. This is what happens when I try to do things before stream starts, and then they get all screwed up.
I know, I completely feel that. That's why I'm not putting Discord on there. I'm just not gonna have it on my page, because, yeah, well, you know I'm an old fart, so things don't work properly for me, and we're just gonna say that, because
I feel you. Absolutely.
I'm an old farty poo.
Widget chat. There we go. Alright, we're gonna change to a different format because I hate that look of it.
I got both of you up. Aw, Toxic, you're the best. I love you.
Toxic.
So Toxic is going to come in, does have a story. So I told him that we would be telling our stories first, and then we would be bringing in the viewers as well as our friends
the biggest thing
to
is,
tell
Veronica,
their stories. So we are doing that. That's the goal for tonight, right?
We get.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Alright. There we go. Change that up. Okay. Hopefully that looks better.
Dude, I ripped my lip, and it is hurting like a mother scratcher.
Ripped your lip.
Mm-hmm. It's brutal. Hey, Jack!
metal
What it
AF.
do? What's up, Carver Cat? What it do, Boogaboo? I brought all the stuff so we
Yo.
can make s'mores. Oh, please. Santy, I'm down.
Bad.
Give me some marshmallows.
Fancy.
Yes.
Very nice. Very
Alrighty. So,
nice.
you started, Missy. It's all you, baby.
Toxic is like, not that lip. Calm down.
Oh. Oh, that lip. No, my top
Hey,
lip.
yo.
My top bottom lip. Is, I don't know. However, it makes sense, but yes, it ripped.
Your mouth face lip.
My mouth face lip. Yes, that one has been split, and now it's bleeding.
Oh, that's fun. That's really fun, guys.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get started here.
We're getting
So.
hot in here. So
Yeah.
keep on all your clothes, because we're going to be telling these horror stories. Okay, let's go.
Hold on to your undies.
Because it's going to get real tonight. It really is. It's going to get real.
It is, for sure. So, welcome back, dear listeners, to another chilling episode of the Spooky Sisters podcast. My name is Missy, and as always, I'm here with my partner in crime / paranormal, Karma.
Greetings, fellow seekers of the supernatural. We've got a spine-tingling treat for you today. In this episode, we're diving deep into the world of personal ghost stories, eerie encounters, and all the things that can bump in the night. Oh, bump. Sorry. Bump in the night.
Bump, bump, bump.
That.
So, we are going to be asking you every Wednesday to share your strange but true or urban legend stories with us. You can submit them to us, or you can hop right in the Discord with us and tell it live on stream.
Mm-hmm.
So before we get to those, Karma and I have some stories of our own to share.
Yeah, absolutely, Missy. I will go ahead and start off with, I have a very scary story. So this happened when I was like 12 or 13 years old. I've kind of told this story before, but I'm not sure if all our listeners have actually heard it, so I want to tell it again. But I was actually having my little brother in my room. We were watching The Exorcist, of course, because, you know, that's just my thing. It's around Halloween. We were getting ready to start setting up our Halloween, you know, I guess all our creations that we have and everything, we were really getting festive into the Halloween spirit. And so they were showing The Exorcist, and we're sitting there, and we're like, you know, watching it. It was me, my friend Chrissy, and my little brother Isaiah, and he's 2 years old at the time. So that would make me actually 14 at the time. And we're playing, me and my friend Chrissy, we're like playing these little tapes. Yes, people, we had cassette tape players at that time. Y'all may not know what that is, but we had it back in the day. And way back. And so I'm playing this tape, and it says, like, on one side, like, creepy horror hauntings in a mansion, and on the other side it says, like, graveyard horror screams and scares, right? And so we're, like, playing it, and we're like, ooh, which one sounds better, so we could debate on what we wanted to play when the trick-or-treaters would be coming up to the house. Because we have, like, a really long porch, and so we wanted to make it really, like, ominous and just kind of scary. And so we're sitting there, and we're playing it, we're watching The Exorcist while we're playing these scary stories, and all of a sudden, the thing starts going, like, the tape just starts melting, you know, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, what? And my friend Chrissy looks at me, she's like, dude, what's going on? Right then and there, every light in my room blows out. I'm not kidding. Every light blows out and pops, bursts, okay? And I tell it out there. I'm like, screw my brother. I'm out. So I run out of my room. My friend Chrissy is on the other side of, like, the other side of the room. I'm the closest to the door. I had to tell it out there. Well, my friend Chrissy comes out, and she's a big booby woman, okay? She's like you. She got some chesties. And my brother is, like, sitting there holding her boobs, okay? A 2-year-old, like, squeezing the hell out of her boobs. And he's like, what the hell is going on? This is terrifying. And mind you, we were watching The Exorcist, right? And that's when the freaking, when she turns and she starts spinning her head around, that was at that point that was when the lights popped and blew out. Was when she was spinning her head around on the bed. And so we're, like, running. My parents are in the living room, and they're like, we're screaming, oh my God, what happened? And my mom's like, what the hell happened? Calm down. What is wrong with you? And Isaiah's screaming. Bloody murder. You know, he's a 2-year-old. And then my friend Chrissy's like, I'm going home. I'm out. And so my mom, like, sits down, and my dad's sitting down, and they're talking to me. And I don't know this story until later, but my parents were actually having a conversation about church. And my mom is, like, one of those people that she believes in church and stuff, but she doesn't think that you have to go to church to have church, right? Like, she's like, hey, if I'm watching it, listening to it, whatever, we're good. Well, my dad was talking about that he wanted to go to church, and my dad was a very, like, always, as soon as the doors open, he's there. Like, he's in, you know, he's reading, he's everything. My dad actually became a pastor after this.
Wow.
So they're arguing while this is happening in my room. And we didn't know that. No. Yeah. So, needless to say, we're sitting there, and, like, my dad's like, well, what was that explosion? Like, you could hear, like, the bulbs, right, bursting. And he was like, what was that explosion? And I was like, all the lights bursted. So my dad goes in the room, and I don't know if y'all have ever smelled blood. If y'all have ever gone to a slaughterhouse and how it smells. That is what my room literally smelled like.
Oh, Lord.
Anytime you put a bulb in my ceiling fan and turned it on, it smelled like that blood. I literally did not sleep in my room for 6 months because I was so scared to be in there because of this scenario and what happened to me. And needless to say, we didn't play none of that scary music. We kind of laid back on that Halloween.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's definitely my spooky story. What about you, Missy?
Man, that is just gives me the willies. Seriously. Yeah. So my dad's house growing up, It was built in the 1740s in upstate New York, so a lot of history there. It was one of the only houses that survived the raids that the natives did in the area because
Oh
they
wow.
were burning people out at that point. They were pissed off, rightfully so. But
Mhm.
um, but because that house was part of a trading post system, it was spared. Um, and we actually found in the house an old uh, blanket made by the natives.
Mhm.
It was inside the walls as insulation because farmhouses use everything you can get your hands on for insulation and supplies and wallpaper. There was one part of the house where the stairs going down to the basement had old newspaper pages as the wallpaper. So, like the old comics and things, I would sit there for hours just reading those. Um, but yeah, so I absolutely love this house. And there was always just this feeling about this house that I've had. And I'm very, very much attached to it.
Oh, I bet.
Um,
I bet.
however, however, my friend Cody, when we were in like
He raised her,
second
you
and
go
third
bump into the
grade,
mic.
more
Stinker.
so second grade, um, she would come over, and the first time she came over, she was staying the night.
Mhm.
She got up to go to the bathroom, went downstairs, and on her way to the bathroom, she said she looked over at the one window, and the moonlight was shining through it. It was a very well lit night, and she said she saw a man and a woman standing there, and they looked like old farmers, like
Oof.
old Amish people, kind of.
Wow.
Is how she described them. Like he had a hat on, and the woman had just a very old looking dress on.
Mhm.
And she said that they turned and looked at her, and then they just turned back to the window, and they were just staring out the window. Um, and that same night, she said that during all of this, that as she was walking toward the bathroom in the dining room, which is basically on the way to the bathroom,
Mhm.
um, there was a pillar of blue light, and it was going from the floor to the ceiling, like it was moving
Oh
from the
wow.
floor to the ceiling. And she said that she saw faces in this big pillar that took up almost the entire dining room. So, needless to say, she came running back upstairs,
Oh hell yeah.
um, and was like, I don't have to go to the bathroom anymore. And it wasn't until the next day she told me what had happened. But I was a little bit freaked out. But when we told my parents about it, they were like, oh, well, that's not really surprising because this place used to be a funeral home, like a mortuary and
No
stuff.
way.
And I'm like, are you serious?
Holy heck. No. Oh, I got
During
chills.
during the 1800s, my house that I grew up in was a mortuary and funeral home. Now, it was also a post office, a boarding house, a general store at one point. So, like many, many hats have been on this house.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, so lots of history, lots of questionable things have happened in that house uh, through the years, and one of the other things that have come out of that house was the rocking baby doll. This is
Rocking
part of
baby
why
doll.
I'm the rocking baby doll. Yep.
Oh hell no.
Um, so I'm scared of dolls. I have been since I was the age of 6 when my aunt basically made me watch the Child's Play movies as punishment.
Mhm.
Long story. Long story. But anyway, so I'm terrified of dolls. Majorly.
Mm-mm.
And my mother thought it was a great idea to buy me a doll that looked like me.
Oh.
And I'm like, why would you do this? Like, that's my thinking. Like, why would you do this to me? Why?
Oh
Um,
no.
so I did everything I could to get rid of this damn doll. I threw her in the garbage. I left her outside.
Mhm.
I even put her directly in because it's the country and everything, we would burn our trash, not like the toxic stuff or anything, but like just trash, paper and things. I literally put her in the burn pile and covered her up and waited for her to get burned up. She got a little bit burned, like her bangs melted on her forehead. And it just made her look scarier. But my dad found her apparently, and got her cleaned up. I didn't know he found her.
Oh, that's that more terrifying.
I came home from school one day, and there she is sitting on my bed, staring at me as I come into my bedroom. Staring at me. I'm like, what is happening? So freaked me right out. But then I gave the doll to my sister because I didn't want anything to do with it anymore. It scared the hell out of me. It kept coming back. My dad or my mom or whoever would keep finding it, and it would just keep coming back. So my sister loved it. I'm like, I don't get it, but okay, that's fine. Good for you. Hopefully it doesn't murder us all in our sleep one night.
Right?
So,
oh, God.
So, my parents found this little rocking chair, like, thing for dolls. It was actually, I think, for babies, but we used it for dolls. Because it's not really safe to use. It was all rickety. Anyway, so the doll would sit in there.
Oh, no.
And it was in the living room at one point, and we were watching a movie, and all of a sudden, the thing starts rocking.
Oh, hell no! Oh my
Nope.
gosh.
Nope. I was gone. I literally ran out of the house. I was done. Absolutely not. No, we are not playing that game. Goodbye.
Dang.
I don't care what's outside at night. I don't care. No.
That's terrifying. Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. That's an incredible story, I have to say. Like,
Yeah.
that literally made my hair stand up. Especially whenever it includes dolls. Because dolls, you don't know the story behind the doll before you received it. And so you really could be having a Chucky moment. You have no idea. It's really scary whenever you think of it, but you could, and so I completely understand that. But I think we might be ready to go ahead and turn our spotlight to our brave listeners. We've received some spine-chilling tales from all over the world. I do have a scary story, but I believe that Toxic was ready to come tell us one. Let me just make sure. If not, I do have a story from my boy Cheddar.
Ooh.
Yeah, I actually he was streaming this afternoon, and I was like, Cheddar, we're doing this tonight. Well, he's in Scotland, so their time
Nice.
is like super late. Go
Yeah.
ahead and read his first. Okay, I will do it. I will definitely do
Perfect.
it.
Alrighty.
So, there are so many different scary stories and different scenarios of scary stories. Your scary story may not be the same as my scary story. So, his is about sleep paralysis. And for me, that is terrifying because not only have I experienced it once or twice in my lifetime, my husband has as well. But he said about 6 years ago, he was really heavy smoking, like a lot of cigarettes, like probably 2 packs a day. And he would have sleep paralysis on the regular. But nothing was really as terrifying as this night. And he remembers it like it happened yesterday. He said that he had woken up, opened his eyes, and he felt something breathing on his shoulder. At that moment, he realized he could not move. He could only move his eyes, but like he could not lift his head. He couldn't move his body. And he said that he could feel like this presence on top of him, like heavy on top of him. And his bed even, I'm getting chills just thinking about it. His bed even sunk down from the pressure of this entity. And so he was like, it was really scary because you can't move. You're like stuck in this position. You cannot move. You cannot lift anything up over you. And at this point, the pressure is just getting very heavy on his chest, very heavy on him. You can feel the pressure as he's laying on the bed, that this thing is just pushing onto the bed.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can actually hear it breathing at this point. Not just feel it breathing, but you could hear it breathing. And then he said it was probably about 5 to 10 minutes. He is looking around the room while this is happening, and in the top right-hand corner of his ceiling, he sees like a figure, a dark figure. So now he's like really wanting to move. Not only are you feeling something, but you're seeing something out of the corner of your eye. And so he's like, I closed my eyes, and I like was just like taking, breaths, and was like, please go away. Please go away. And he said as he was saying that you could feel the bed lift up. Like the presence was gone. He was able to then move and was fully awake at this moment. And he said it was one of the things that he will never forget, because not only did he feel the pressure, he also saw that thing in the corner. But he said now that he has stopped smoking as much, he doesn't have sleep paralysis as much as he had. So he hasn't experienced anything like that since then. So that's a good part of it, but still, that's terrifying.
When he says smoking, does he mean cigarettes or the devil's lettuce?
Both.
He quit both?
Yeah. Well, okay. He still smokes the devil's lettuce, but he quit cigarettes.
Gotcha. So, interesting.
Alrighty.
And he hasn't seen it since.
Nope, he has not. He has not seen the spirit or the figure since. He has had a couple of episodes of this sleep paralysis, but nothing like that, and nothing that intense. Right. Toxic did say that he would need about another 20 minutes.
That's fine.
He said, "Oh, F that." That scares the crap out of me.
One of my friends has experienced sleep paralysis too. Pretty good. Similar, actually. The feeling like something's on the bed with you, like right next to you, or like touching you.
Oh.
And then just being unable to move. Like that's the most terrifying thing I could think of, honestly, is that not being able to move. But yeah, it's absolutely frightening.
It really is.
Sort of dark figures and shapes and shadows and noises. And, like, he was saying how it sounded like he heard footsteps coming towards the room and towards the bed.
Oh no. No.
Yeah.
That takes it even further. Like, I don't know. I just the thought of not being able to move, and you're sitting there and you're able to look around, you're able to see around, but you're only looking up, right? Because you can't move your head left or right or whatever. And then you see, like, I don't know if it's maybe your head, your mind playing tricks on you, or whatever it may be. But if you think about it, like, you're looking up, and the thing you're seeing is your ceiling, and you're seeing a freaking shadow on that ceiling, or a figure on that ceiling.
That's not supposed to be there. Yeah.
Oh man, I would be so terrified. Oh goodness, no.
Absolutely no. Screw that.
Yes.
I couldn't. I'd freak out. I'd be in like a mental institution, honestly.
I definitely would too.
Because let me just share this to Twitter while we're waiting.
By the way, do you have anybody in your channel that would like to come on? Like, we could go ahead and start bringing other people on. We don't just have to wait for Toxic to get ready.
Does anybody have any stories to share? Anybody that wants to join us? Santi, do you have a story? Herbal?
Anyone.
I know Herbal just went live.
Ooh. Heck yeah.
On stream with us. My Discord keeps going off, even though I have a bunch of servers muted. I don't understand why it's doing that, but it's really annoying me lately. Oh my god, what did I do? No, we're not video chatting.
I feel that 1000%. I always go into streamer mode whenever I go live, just because of all the servers. But I know you have a lot more servers than I do.
Yeah, I'm part of like.
You have a lot more, and you're probably tagged a lot more than I am. So I'm grateful for that. That it's not me. I guess while we're waiting, I could go ahead and tell another story.
Yes.
Um, so this actually happened. So I live in Texas, and this happened about 8 years ago. We had moved to a place called Canadian, Texas. I know, right? It's really weird, but yeah, we moved there. My husband wanted to get into IT to further his education, his career. So it was a great opportunity to go work for the hospital there. And when we moved there, we moved into a trailer home. So just to give you a little bit of a knowledge about the area, it is an oil town area. And because there are so many people there, it's easier and more beneficial for them to use property to be able to put mobile homes on than make a house and charge an arm and a leg. Because they're able to charge an arm and a leg. So this was 8 years ago. We paid, how much was it for our house? I can't even remember. I think it was like $1,500 a month or something for a mobile home. Like, that was high back then. But it was a brand new mobile home. It was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. We had 2 mobile homes, one on each side of us. So it was a 3 stack of mobile homes.
Wow.
On a condemned property. That should have been my first clue. I am Indian. So with that said, your spiritual knowledge and things that come at you can be a little more heavy. So because you are, kind of into that, I guess, that realm, I don't really know. My mom just told me, to be very careful on what I go to and what I'm a part of. So with that said, this was a condemned property in a native area. And, ever since then, I have had, I guess, what you would call a familiar that has followed me from house to house.
Oh.
Yes. It is literally, the Cheshire Cat, or is that what you call it? The Cheshire, whatever from Alice in Wonderland, the one with the freaking grin and the big puffy tail?
Yeah.
I have never seen this creature from the front. It's always the back. You only see it from the shoulders back. You can never see the front of it. Anyways, I'm sitting here in this trailer house. I'm getting ready for work. And, I'm doing my hair. I have long hair, so I'm like blow drying and everything. And I feel this thing rub up against my leg. Well, we do have a miniature schnauzer, so I thought it was my dog. I look down. Number one, my dog has no tail. It's a miniature schnauzer. They're cropped. There is this big freaking fluffy, gray freaking furry tail rubbing around my leg. I'm like, what the fudge? Like, I stopped everything, and I'm like, what the hell is that? Sucker runs out of my room, and all I see, again, is the rear end of it. And I'm like, babe, there's a cat in our house. There's a cat in the freaking house. It's like a smoky gray, kind of like the Pet Sematary looking cat from the back.
Oh, no.
Very fluffy tail. He was like, dude, there's no cat in this house. He was like, we don't have the doors open. How the hell is a cat going to get in here? I was like, I don't know, but I just saw it. It rubbed on my leg. So we're like looking everywhere. We're looking for the cat. There is no freaking cat in this house. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'm losing my marbles, and maybe it was Jinx, maybe it's my puppy. And I'm like, what the hell? So, needless to say, we move out of that house. We moved to Pampa, Texas, which is a 45-minute drive from there. My husband's driving back and forth, and I live there now, and so that's where we stay. The second we move there, it's an old home, Missy. Like, it has a freaking attic that was redone to be like a space that you could have stuff. The utility room has no door, and it's like a big older kind of old utility room, but there's no door. And so we had put up curtains there with like a little rod, so you don't see the utility room. And sure enough, I'm unpacking stuff. My husband's at work because I took a couple of days off before I started my new job. And I see that little freaking creature going through that utility room, through that curtain. And what's crazy, Trinity, come here. I thought I was the only one seeing it.
Oh.
I was not. You want to tell your side?
I didn't see like anything detailed. I saw something run from. We had like a bedroom, and across it was like a little bitty, like hallway kind of thing, and right across from the bedroom was the bathroom. And I saw something like it looked black to me. It looked like it was either black or super dark, like
it's like
gray.
a charcoal gray to me.
Yeah, it looked like it was like a black mass to me, just like ran super fast from the bedroom into the bathroom. And I went in there and there was nothing. And I was like, "What?"
Yeah, there's nothing there. Like, you can go
I
and
thought
check.
I thought it was our dog, but he was way lighter than that color. Way lighter.
But the crazy thing is that no matter where I've moved since that property, I have seen this kitty. Or what I think is a kitty. Hell, it might be something else on the other side. You know, I've never seen the other side of it, so who knows what it is. But yeah, it's really weird. Like, I have seen it. Trinity has seen something that she thinks is it. And it's just really weird. Ever since we lived there, we have seen this thing. And you can feel it. That's the craziest part. It's not just seeing it, but you can actually feel it touching you. And that's where it's like, what the hell is that? I don't know. You're like spiritual and everything. Does that ring any bells for you?
I mean, honestly, did you ever have a pet that was similar in, like, size and shape?
No.
Whether it's a cat or a dog? No. You
Not
must have
that
just picked
big.
up a little hitchhiker.
Dude, I'm telling you, like, that was, like, the craziest thing. And ever since then, it's just, like, gone from house to house. And you can see it. And it's always, again, I never have seen the front of it. Ever. And I kind of don't want to.
It's probably like, yeah, this lady's nice to me. I'm going to stick with her.
Right?
It just follows you everywhere now.
I know. I have weird stories. They're just weird things that happen, but they're creepy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, growing up, by the way, is Bio or Toxic ready?
I don't think he's ready just yet. I think he'll let us know once he is.
I'll tell my story. Hi, Ken.
Oh God,
yeah,
I
I'm
thought
having
you were
a
gonna say
great
cat.
evening. No. Not be here long, about bedtime, work in the morning. Oh, you're getting some scary stories in before bed then, huh? Hi, Enzaru. Nice to see you. Welcome in. If anybody has a scary story they want to share, it is command SS Discord in the chat. We'll bring you in from the waiting lobby, so just join the waiting lobby and you can share your story. Why did that not go through?
You know how we do things. We like to break them. Break it!
Botrix has been problematic today.
It's been problematic for a few days, actually.
Yeah, with all these changes on Kick, I'm not surprised.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, join the Discord, go into the voice chat waiting lobby, we'll pull you in, you can share your story and scare the crap out of the rest of us. Because that's what we're here for with the Spooky Sisters podcast, is scaring the crap out of ourselves and all of you.
Yes.
So my next story, so we moved into my dad's house when I was in second grade, like the beginning of second grade.
What's up,
Before
Killer?
that, we lived in a
If you have any
mobile
scary
home in a
stories,
little
we would
small
love to hear
town.
them. I know you're an IRL streamer of the horror
land was
genre.
rented, basically, from one of the
We are
neighbors
taking
kind of
all
down the
people.
street away. She owned like a whole strip of property and rented out parcels. So my dad would always have to go and pay the rent to her. And
If you do feel
I would
like
go with
sharing,
him and I'd have to stay
go
in the
to
car.
the waiting lobby in my Discord.
She lived in this big, sort of Victorian style house. Super, super old. All rickety, not very well maintained. And she lived there allegedly by herself.
I would love to hear your stories.
Now, my dad always called her the witch. Now,
Oof.
thinking back as an adult, I'm like, was he calling her a bitch but just being nice?
Right.
But I don't know, because then he would tell me stories, because I'd always want to go and explore in the woods and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously he didn't want me going too far and getting into a situation. So, he told me she was a witch, and that she had these people from an island, like these cannibals, that lived in a village off the back bank behind her house in the woods. So we weren't allowed to go there because they were cannibals. And I'm like, that is the most bizarre, like, what made you make this story up if it's not real?
Right? Cannibals?
And-
Damn.
And then it gets even crazier because I saw one of them.
Nuh-uh.
They weren't dressed like normal. It wasn't a person dressed like in normal clothes.
Was
Like,
it
they
like
were
Hills
wearing,
Have
like,
Eyes?
it was weird. He was wearing like this like cloth, almost like a diaper kind of thing. And he was just like on the porch of her house. And then because we were pulling up in the driveway, as soon as we were pulling up, he ducked back inside quick.
Oh, hell no.
And so now I'm just like, is this real? Like, does she literally have cannibals living there? Is she really like a witch? And I was fascinated.
Right?
Like, I wasn't really scared. I was like, I want to know more. You know, she always had cool looking stuff on her porch, you know, bird cages, and that's where my fixation with bird cages has come from, I feel like. Is because she always had these weird, like, elaborate looking bird cages. Nothing in them, just the bird cages on her porch. And
Oof.
the furniture and just everything was gorgeous. Rickety and old and dusty and not maintained, but gorgeous. And I was obsessed. But yeah, so she may or may not have been a witch. Nobody really knows for sure. I know that she passed away some years back because she was an older lady. But yeah, so there's
Wow.
cannibals and witches and
Just a mix of craziness. Well, on that
Yes.
note, we do have a waiting lobby of 3 people.
oh my goodness.
Yes, I don't know if you had heard from Hacks. I do have my boy Killer in there, and Toxic is
Toxic.
ready.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for that sub, buddy.
Ooh,
Buddy?
ooh.
Buddy?
Let's go.
Alright, so first up, let's see.
Oh God, who is knocking? Mother Scratcher. How very dare. All right, so I think we should go ahead and bring Toxic because we have been waiting on him first.
Alright, sounds great.
I'm bringing him in now.
Hello, motherfucker.
What a perfect timing! Did you plan
Welcome.
that? Wow.
Hey, so
That's,
I just found out
that's
how,
an entrance.
hold on. I just found out how to do that today, and it's pretty cool now. You can bring your Discord soundboard to when you join voice chats, it says something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's genius. Oh God, Missy.
Today, and I'm like, oh, that's hilarious. But, so, I actually have pictures of the 2 areas that I grew up in.
Oh my.
So, yeah, I used to play paintball and stuff like that. It was a group of us. I mean, we were probably, I want to say it's like 2004, 2005. And we used to go and
If
go
anybody
four-wheeling
wants
and
to
stuff like
join,
that. Well,
please join
down
the
on
Discord
Chrome
and waiting lobby.
Avenue
I
down
would
in
love to hear
Miami.
your
Anybody that knows
stories.
anything about Miami knows where the hell Chrome Avenue is. There used to be what we called an abandoned insane asylum,
Oh hell no.
Oh.
Oh Lord.
right? So hold on. And we were like, okay, cool, you know, and you know everything that comes with a insane asylum. So like the first time we went out there, obviously we went out there at night.
Uh-huh.
And the first night we went out there, we know there's animals out there. I mean, it's in the middle of the woods.
Mhm.
So it's like, okay, so we know there's animals out there, but like some of the noises we were hearing were like bigger than raccoons and
Ooh.
stuff. So I'm going to show you. Is there pictures on this one? Yes. Okay. I'm going to share my screen
Okay.
so you can
Hopefully it lets
see.
you.
Hopefully it does. If it doesn't, it's okay. I don't think it's going to because of the permissions. But there is.
Hold on. I'm gonna get it to where you can share.
Okay.
Sure.
I mean,
See
if
if it
you don't want
works.
it that way, that's fine.
No, I actually, if people are gonna be sharing their stories and they have pictures, hey, I want to see it.
Absolutely.
Is it working now?
It's not letting me go live.
Oh, maybe I have to change that to go live. Hold on.
Yeah.
Connect, speak, video. Isn't it the video? Oh,
Well, and while you're doing that, I'm gonna get my blurps reset up on here.
okay.
Oh yeah, blurps have been funny this past week for me too.
Well, I'm on my roommate's PC, so. Oh shit.
Okay.
Copy.
Does that work or not really?
Hold on. I have to reinitialize it.
I hope it does.
No, it's probably something to do with like the stream settings and like streaming in here, and you have it locked in private. I don't think you can, but it's okay. It's not a big deal. Like,
If
there's actually a website. If you go to abandon1fl.com, both of these things I'm about to talk about are on this dude's website. And the first one, like I said, we called it an abandoned insane asylum, and it was actually known as the Chrome Avenue Insane Asylum. Is what like the stories were about this place when the Chrome INS facility. And we went, of course, like I said, we went out there at night. We had flashlights and stuff like that, and we were like, "Yo, this place is bomb to play paintball in." You know, so we came back during the day, and we played paintball during the day there, and we ended up like it was at the end of the day, and we were playing paintball, and it got dark. We had flashlights and everything like that. The one picture that I really want to show you, which is not a big deal, I'll download it and I'll put it in the Discord for anybody who wants to see it. It's like this weird. So come to find out, it wasn't an insane asylum. It was actually part of the Cuba Missile Crisis.
Hold on, can you try real quick? Try one last
Yeah.
time, because I just put you specifically for permissions. There we go. Okay.
So this is what it
Wonderful.
look. This is like what it looks like inside, right here. It was all graffitied up, and here's some more of the pictures. But this, let me see if it'll open up. So yeah, this area right here. It's just weird. I don't know what the hell it was. We found out it was we found out after this incident that happened here that it was actually part of the Cuba Missile crisis. It was like there's on the west coast, closest thing to Cuba without being to Cuba, and it was called the Nike Missile IFC site HM95, and it ended up becoming an abandoned. I don't know what the hell this is right here. I can't begin to tell you what it is. It runs through the whole entire building, and like I said, we were out there playing paintball. We were hearing things the first time we went out there, and it sounded bigger than animals and stuff like that. And some of the shit out there looked like it could have been an insane asylum. Like, we found bedding with like wrist straps and leg straps to it and shit. It was insane what we were finding and stuff like that. And then like as we were walking through it, we would hear things like get thrown.
Oh.
And we were like, oh, somebody's out here fucking with us. Like, it's not, we weren't, thinking anything, but then we would look around and we're all right here, but we're hearing something get thrown from 3 rooms back.
Dang.
And everybody's in the same room. We go back.
Nope, won't like
we go
that.
back. Yeah. So like, see, these are the rooms. I have to open them up individually for you guys to see them, but these were like the rooms and stuff. And some of the rooms in here, of course, he doesn't have like, this is the hallway, and all down this hallway here, I don't know if you can see my mouse, but all down this hallway here, there's rooms on the left and right, and there's beddings in the room. So, like I said, we were walking through the area, and we were hearing this shit, and we're like, my buddy Javi and Tommy and stuff were with us, and I thought it was Tommy messing with us, because Tommy's like into paranormal stuff too. You know what I mean? Like, he actually had a paranormal kit.
Damn.
And we went back to this place and found like EMF levels
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And so when the first time I heard it, I'm like, all right, who's messing with us? And then we kind of looked around and all of us were there. And then we went like one more door down, and we heard this loud wham, and we heard something say, "Get the fuck out."
Oh.
And I thought it was Tommy. And I'm like, Tommy, knock your shit off. And Tommy's like, he's like right next to me. He's like, it ain't me, bro.
Oh god.
And I'm like, bullshit. Like, so we walk back and we go into the room, and one of the beds was like up against the wall. The straps were locked. And like fully extended off the bed.
Screw that. Mm-mm.
I can tell you right now, us 5 fat asses made it back to a vehicle as quick as you possibly could think. I wasn't playing that, right?
I don't know. Yeah.
So we went back and we're like, okay, like we got back in the van. My buddy Javi had a big conversion van, and the reason why I bring up this picture is I don't know what the hell this was, But we were walking through and we kept seeing light flicker in here.
Huh.
And when we went into it, we were there at night. There's no indication of like somebody left a light. There's no light. There's no electricity here. It's an abandoned missile site. As we're sitting there, that pit caught on fire.
Are you serious?
Dead ass.
Oh, hell no.
Dead
Oh,
ass. That pit caught on fire while we were there. I'm like, well, the bitch burns down. It wasn't us. We're out of here.
That's
So,
crazy.
yeah, so that's the insane asylum. And like I said, if you go to abandonedflorida.com, fl.com, it talks about this site, and it was known as the Chrome INS facility. Come to find out, it was a U.S. Army base in response to the Cuban Missile Crisis that became abandoned. And the missile field is still this like big ass like building here was the missile launch site, and the shit's still there.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like we went back a couple of times during the day. Never fucking went back at night again. No.
I would definitely
Yeah,
not.
no, but like welding machines, like see, they've been chased out. Yeah, right here. The IF site was left abandoned, vandalized. Today, it's a local urban legend to have been a secret mental asylum where ghost murderers still reside. Some folks claim they've seen a woman in a white gown, which was on the roof, by the way, which was on the roof of the building. When we were after that fire got lit and we took off, we all saw her on the top of the building. A past resident of the asylum who strolls the compound asking for help. Then others have said they've been chased up by a black man in a black bandana welding a machete. We actually found a machete on site. It's just, and all this shit is like legit what took place out there. It was crazy. And then this is the Davy Mansion. And this is what it looked. It burnt down like 2012. And the story behind this was there's a couple things going around. One of them, it was Pablo Escobar's property. And it actually wasn't. Like, that was dispelled real quick. But it was known as a mafia member's mansion. It's huge, freaking, like, 3 acres in the middle of a busy city. And just overgrown. I don't know if some of the pictures have it when it was overgrown here. So I was trying to find, but like it was a huge 3 acre. It was a huge house. It must have been 5,000 to 6,000 square foot house.
I think I've seen that place.
Yeah, and we went in there, and this was around the corner from my buddy Chris's house. And we went in there, and they talk about. I thought I saw it here. No, they talk. There's this doll. And I heard you talking about dolls, Missy. There's this doll that some people are like, oh, it's, there's a bunch of them there, right? Like people have put them there in different places to make it look like the doll's moving. And shit.
Yeah.
Right? So they put them all in different places and stuff like that. And we went out there, and of course, you go out there and it's abandoned and it's been defiled. So there's pentagrams everywhere. Like summoning circles and all kinds of shit everywhere out there. Graffiti on the walls. And we went out there and we knew the story about the dolls, but we all were like, we swore like we turned into a room and there was a doll sitting in a chair in a room. And then we went somewhere else. We came back, the doll was gone. And we were like,
You said that they actually put these dolls like all around the.
So the rumor behind it was, yes, they say it was haunted. And the story behind this house is, and it come to find out it was true. So it would not surprise me if there's any type of hauntings. There was a mafia member that owned this house. This house was confiscated by the FBI and the DEA in, I think, 1989, 1990. And when this dude's house was getting raided, he had 7 kids. All of his family was living there with him, and he murdered every single one of them.
That's horrible.
He murdered everybody because and when he went to court, he ended up committing suicide in his jail cell 4 years after being arrested. And the reason for it is that they were going to deport his whole family, and they were better off dead.
Wow.
So he killed his children, he killed his wife, he killed everybody. And the rumor about the dolls is it was his little daughter's doll, and that she walks around with the doll.
Ugh, that's
So
crazy.
it had been rumors that people have bought dolls and laid them around the property to make it seem like the doll was moving around the property. But I'm telling you, the fucking doll was sitting in the chair. We went. This is the only house in Florida I've ever known that has a basement. Like it's like subgraded, right? So it's elevated, and then the house goes underground, and then you have the first floor, which is level with the elevated ground, and then it had a second story. So we went down to the basement to check it out, and it looked like they were renovating the basement. So I don't know if somebody else got the house at one point, but it looked like they were actually trying to renovate the property. And so it looked like they were trying to start with the basement, like build it out and stuff like that. There's all kinds of plywood down there and 2x4s and stuff like that. And we did see like this doll kind of like tucked up in the corner downstairs when we went downstairs into the basement. And again, in our mind, we're just, okay, you know, we were told this, we've heard the legends of this place and stuff like that. And the room that leads to the basement is where we saw the doll in the chair. When we come out, the doll's gone.
That's crazy. Now that's
And we
terrifying.
heard little kids laughing in the house.
Oh Lord, could you imagine?
Yeah.
Oh. Bill.
So this one we never got to go back to because we were going to go back to this one with Tommy's stuff. Because like I said, Tommy was into all sorts of paranormal stuff. He had like EMF readers and like the shit you see in Phasmophobia, he had like cameras and, you know, things like that to try to see paranormal activity and stuff like that. We were going to go back there and like try to do some EMF readings and stuff like that. And the county blockaded it off to where you couldn't get in anymore. And so we never got a chance to go back in there. But it's like the story, again, if you go to this website, it's on here. It's like, it was supposedly the Pablo Escobars, but it wasn't. It was some guy named, they say it in here, who it was, Jose Puello. And Jose Fernando Puello Montoya. And he, like I said, property got seized and he killed his whole family, and then it caught fire in 2012 and burned to the ground.
Oh, geez.
That's
Now-
crazy.
So here's the other story behind this. So now that property is the Davy Equestrian site. And they do like where kids and families can go out and ride horses and teach kids how to ride horses and stuff like that. To this day, dolls show up on the property.
Oh, I believe it.
And they don't know, and like there's people on, like somebody lives on the property and everything like that, and the guy is like, this gentleman that makes this website has gone back and talked to that guy, and he's like, I don't know where they're coming from. He goes, it's fenced off all the way around. There's no way for anybody to get in without passing the house that I live in and coming through the front gate.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Through
Yeah.
that
Those are my
doll.
stories.
Well,
Well,
thank you for sharing. Holy
Yes,
crap.
thank you for giving us the insight. That is a lot of knowledge right there about Florida. We know where we need to go, Missy.
there's a lot. There's a whole Florida tour. I mean, if like St. Augustine, Florida actually has a whole haunted Florida tour through their city and stuff like that, to go through the different places that are considered haunted and stuff like that. I mean, every state seems to have one. Like obviously Louisiana, Texas definitely has them. You know, but like, it's cool. Like when I was young, like I used to look you know, when the internet was still dial up, you know, look this stuff up and try to find what was considered paranormal in my area, and we would try to go find places and
Yes.
stuff like that. And it was like, there's so many, if you're really into this kind of stuff and you want to go see things, like aside from just like graveyards and stuff like that, it's out there.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
It is
And
out
that's-
there, and with the way the internet is now, it's a quick Google search away to find exactly what you're looking for or in your area to go check it out.
Yeah, we're actually planning on that, right, Missy?
yeah,
Once maybe,
yeah, that's something we talked about.
maybe in a year's time, hopefully we're gonna start doing some like IRL streams, and me and Missy are actually gonna meet up, and we're gonna go do some.
Road trip.
Yes. And I mean, if anybody is more than wanting to come with us, like if we actually go to Florida, we'd be like, Toxic, you want to come hang out for the day?
Yeah,
You
we'll
know,
do a
and
meetup
it.
and
Yeah.
Yeah, the Chrome INS is still there. It's not gone.
Dang.
It's
that's
still
crazy.
there. It's there. They've never fenced it off. And like the story behind why it's still there is because one is a government facility. So you know how the government is. They'll just leave
Oh,
something
yeah.
abandoned and
Shut
abandoned
line
and
if I
abandoned
wasn't
until the
5:30
property's
a.m.
bought or
When I'm back in the States. Yes,
whatever.
for sure. Z.
But
We're gonna be
the
doing
last
this every
story
Wednesday.
was 3 years ago that I
Wednesday
heard
is,
because I have family
for
and friends
hump
that still
day
live
for
on
our
that side of
friends
Florida.
and family members to come
And
and share their stories
3 years
with
ago,
us.
they went to go tear it down, and that's where the story of the man chasing somebody with a machete comes from.
Oh,
Is
dear.
because when they went to go start doing something with it to get it like prepped or whatever, the machines were getting sabotaged, and I use air quotes because just randomly the hydraulic line pressures were cut, and nobody can explain it. Nobody can explain to them why it was like
What
slashed.
the hell?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So they left it alone. Like 4 machines on site got completely destroyed, and nobody can explain how the machine, like they're like, oh, it's the kids on there's no living quarters around this place. It's literally it's like in the middle of Chrome Avenue connection between Miami and where I live now, Naples, Florida.
Damn.
So there's nobody that lives within, I think it's like 22 miles of this facility. So it's not like kids running around their backyard through the woods and messing with equipment or anything like that.
Right. That's
So
that's
it's
crazy.
yeah. So yeah.
Hell yeah.
well, that is amazing. Thank you for sharing with us, because that's definitely something that we'll have to keep in mind if we end up in Florida,
Yes.
for sure.
I mean,
There's
heck,
a few places.
yeah, we're gonna be doing state to stay if we can, if we grow the way we're hoping to and everything like that. We're definitely gonna have the manpower to be able to do it. And another thing, Missy, is Toxic is in video, so
Yes.
I mean, if we actually grew big enough, we could hire him to do our stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's the part that's awesome.
Editing everything. And so I was actually thinking about that, like if you ever did come to this area or were able to do that where you could at least pay for flights and stuff like that, I would meet you wherever and I do the video for it.
That would
Oh,
be
that's
so
awesome.
cool. Hell
Yeah.
yeah. Ah, look, see, we got peeps. We have great family. We love each other.
La Familia. Woo,
Yes.
hashtag.
Yes, definitely. But no, I appreciate you coming and telling us the story, especially on a short notice. Because I was just like, hey,
Yeah.
Toxic, what are you doing today? And he's like, why? Oh, what are we doing?
Yeah, what are we doing?
So just so everybody in chat knows, every Wednesday we're gonna try and do something like this. It might be a different theme. Like today it's share your scary but true stories with us. Next time it could be try and scare us. Come up with the scariest story you can tell us, or something like that. So keep your eyes on Twitter. We'll have some updates, and Discord if you're in our Discords. And we'll always have something new for you.
Yes, yes. So I'm excited. But yes, thank you, Toxic. It was a
No problem.
pleasure.
Yep.
Yes, thank you.
Back to chat. I'll wait for y'all to play games later.
Alrighty,
Alrighty,
sounds
sounds
good.
good.
Bye.
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 All right, so we got my boy Killa. Killer is. I'm just gonna bring him in. Killa, what's up?
Alrighty.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, you did not play that. Did not.
Goodness gracious.
That's my
Wow.
favorite. You already know I like that.
I do. So Missy, Killer is a homie that lives in Cali. And with
Okay.
that said, you know, California's crazy with all kinds of horror stories and things. But he is actually a real life ghost hunter.
Hey, yo.
Yeah.
Welcome.
He does his own stuff. He he does stream it sometimes. Not often, Killa,
No.
like we want
No.
him to. But
Yeah,
he
I know.
but he does do it. So I'm sure he has a ton of stories for us. But we would gladly the floor is yours, Killa. Tell us, scare us, make us scream.
Well, the only few that I feel like were more scary compared to everything else in my life so far was the first story that I got is when I was younger. When I was 13 years old, I went to Mexico with my
What's
dad,
that? Yeah.
and I gotta admit, it's fun. Mexico is great. You can buy pounds of fireworks, by the way, for like $5 US dollars.
That's crazy. But I've heard that.
Freaking
Yeah.
awesome. It's awesome. I loved it. Anyways, I was out there, got some family members. I was playing soccer in the streets with them, and when I was there, my grandmother will always tell us, "Hey, make sure you come back before a certain time before you get the dark." It's Mexico. I'm 13 years old. Kids going running around. But most of the time, before it even hits dark time, you don't see kids outside no more. So I'm just like, okay, that's kind of weird. Whatever. So we would play. Then my cousin kicked the soccer ball a little too hard, and it went down the drive path. And not too far from the drive path, maybe like 2, 3 houses down, there's like this pond, like a pretty big pond. And it landed near that pond. And I'm just like, whatever. It's already like 6:30 p.m. It's kind of dark. People are already inside their home. People are drinking, having fun. Whatever. The casual shit. Normal Saturday night type of thing. So I start running down to get the ball real quick. And as I'm running down, I hear my cousins yelling, just leave it, we'll get it in the morning. And I'm just like, nah, I'll get it. I'll go get it real quick. It's just down there. It's right there. It's literally right fucking there. Just 2 houses down. Because it was a little hill, so it kept rolling. So I ran down. I picked it up, and as I'm picking it up, like, if you ever been in a moment where you're hearing, crickets, frogs, all that stuff, really loud, and all of a sudden everything just goes quiet,
Ooh, I'm getting chills.
silent.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what happened. I ran down, picked up the ball, and as soon as I grabbed that ball, it just went silent. Dead silent. Like, you don't hear nobody. You don't hear people drinking. You don't hear people yelling. Having fun, laughing. You don't hear any of that. Nothing. It was just silent. And I look back at my cousins, and they're gone. And I'm just like, where'd they go? I'm 13 years old, by myself, in Mexico, in the streets, picking up this ball next to this huge pond. And they tried to warn me not to go, down and pick it up. So my grandma told me not to be out too late. And I'm just figuring, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I'm trying to put all this together. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? But I'm like, all right. So I just got the ball. I start walking back. And as I'm walking back, it was still quiet. And I'm like, I still don't hear people laughing, screaming, nothing. No fireworks, nothing. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Like, did I go deaf? Like, I started freaking out. I thought I went deaf. Like, to be honest, I started, like, panicking. My heart rate started racing. I'm like, why am I panicking? I'm like, did I lose my hearing? So as I'm walking back, I stopped real quick because I had this shiver behind my back, like this weird, you get the little chills randomly.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's what happened. Like I got these chills. And I was like, ugh. It's like, what was that? So I look back and I'm like, there's nothing there. So I walk back, heading back towards the house, and all of a sudden I hear like this weeping sound, like someone's weeping, like crying, and I'm like, wait, that's the first sound I'm hearing so far. Like that's the first time I'm hearing the sound. Okay, so I'm not deaf. So there is sound, but why did everybody go quiet? Like, what happened? And I'm walking back to the house, and I just hear the crying. It got louder, and I turn around, and then it just stopped. And I'm like, that's fucking weird. At the time, I was never like, ghosts and, demons or, all that stuff. It was just like, so I was kind of like a skeptic. I didn't really, really believe into it. I was like, whatever. So I go back to the house, and my cousins were looking at me all freaked out. My grandma was like, where were you? And I was like, I went to get the ball. It rolled down to the pond. And she's like, did you hear anything? I'm like, yeah, I heard some lady crying. And then she started doing this, like, magic, like, witchcrafting cleansing on me. It's Mexico, so they have, like, their own, like, way to cleanse people.
Oh, yeah.
They use an egg and stuff like
She
that.
rubbed
So,
the
like,
egg on you? I was gonna say
yeah,
for
the
Rojo.
witchcraft.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
the roja stuff. I'm just like, what the hell's going on? My dad's like, well, how? Like, what? Did you hear anything? Did you see anything? I'm like, I didn't see anything. Like, I went to pick up the ball, and then just got quiet, and all of a sudden I heard this person crying, like weeping, and he's like, oh snap, you know. And then my grandma was just kept praying for me, and I was just like, what the fuck is going on? And they're like, um, you may have encountered a what do you call it? La Llorona. There you go.
Yeah.
La Llorona. And I'm like, what? Who's that?
Jeez, yeah.
I'm 13 years old, so I don't know any of these folklores. So I was just like, who's that? And they explained to me who it was, and I guess it's some lady who drowned her kids.
Oh
but
my
cried
God,
about it.
Jesus!
Excuse me?
What?
Somebody just scared the shit out of me.
Let's go.
Oh my God. Oh, sorry. Santi. Oh,
Killer's
Lord.
like, oh damn, you made my heart jump for a
No,
second.
no, I was just like, what's going on? Wasn't that scary?
No, that's freaking terrifying. Imagine being a 13-year-old.
Santi, thank you.
Oh, well, there's that. Of course, there's that.
When you heard the
Um,
story, did it make you kind of forget a little bit? Like, were you thinking, like, wow, that actually just happened?
After, yeah, I was like, but at the same time, I was still kind of like, well, yes, I was like, wow, that just happened. Like, I just might have not witnessed, but I was
You
in a
experienced
position where I experienced a possibility of seeing this so-called folklore Llorona, you know.
it. Oof.
But at the same time, it's like, how real is it,
Oh my gosh.
you know?
Yeah.
So that's when my curiosity peaked, and you know, everybody knows curiosity kills cat. So the next night, I went down to that pond
Oh,
at like
no.
7-8 p.m.
Oh my
and
goodness.
there was like this slow, like low level fog over the pond, and I'm like, oh, this is fucking cool. Like, and I'm right there with fireworks too, by the way. I got these little fireworks. They look shaped like triangles, made out of newspaper. But like we call them palomitas.
Palomitas. Okay.
Yeah, it's like butterflies, something like that, you know. Because when they explode, it looks like a butterfly. Like when they explode after they open up,
Mhm.
it's like the cocoon explodes into a butterfly.
Aw.
So I was playing with those by the pond, and some little spinners. They look like a teardrop, and when you light them up, they spin. So I was playing with those too. There were some of the kids, you know, kind of running by. They didn't walk by or anything. They just run by screaming. You know, like anybody like that was at least my age or younger would run by that pond. They wouldn't stop. They wouldn't walk. They would run by it. Some of them would even look at me weird, like, "What the fuck's he doing?" type of thing. And I'm like, I'm from freaking America, bro. I don't know what the fuck's going on down here. And I'm 13 years old.
What up,
And this
Zez?
is
How you
the
doing,
form
Bugaboo?
of fun I'm having right now. It's
Happy
fireworks.
freaking hump day.
Because everyone else is scared to come down here and hang out.
Hey, we're doing a podcast.
I'm
If
just
you
there
have any
chilling,
scary
vibing.
stories, you're more
And
than welcome
then
to come join
all
us.
the freaking crickets and all that shit, dead silent again.
Mm.
And I'm like, ooh, ooh, ooh. In my
Ooh.
head, I'm thinking like, am I gonna see something this time?
Am I gonna see? Whoa.
Yeah, like I said, curiosity killed the cat. And I was curious. I'm
Oh,
freaking,
no.
you
I
know,
would have
so I'm
been
just-
like, I'm out. Goodbye.
Exactly. I would have been running. I would have been like, forget that. I know what that is. I'm out.
Self-preservation.
so I'm just like, all right, let's see what happens. So I'm there just waiting to see if anything pops up. I'm even throwing little pebbles in the pond, you know, like, you know, try
See the
to
bottom of
get
the
something
lake
going.
right with your head as you're drowning.
And I hear the weeping and
Oh,
crying
no.
sound. This time it's in the center of the pond. It's coming from the center of the pond. I can hear it for sure this time. The directional sound's coming that direction. So I'm like,
Thank God,
it's over
nothing,
there.
broski.
So I start walking on the
Really?
side of the pond
Any
to the other
sightings
side
of
in hopes I
anything
can like
crazy?
maybe see something. Maybe somebody's on a little boat, you know, and they go in the middle of the pond to cry or something. Who knows? So like I said, it was kind of foggy. I'm like walking around and I'm like, I don't see anything. I don't see anything. I don't see nothing. Go all the way around the pond, which took me like a good 5 minutes to walk around that big pond. And I get around. I'm like, okay, so nothing. But all the crying and weeping was still there, but it was in the middle of the pond. And I'm like, that's insane. And there's no little docks. Like there is some docks, but there wasn't like there was boats tied up to it. So that means there was somebody out there or there's nobody out there. So I would look at the docks like after the weeping would stop. Like it stopped after like 10 minutes. And I would go to the docks and I don't see any like water prints, any changes of the boats, you know, because sometimes when you bring in another boat, the boats kind of shift a bit. You know, I was always like hyper focused on things like that, small objects like that. I don't know why I've been that way forever, but I didn't see any changes. I'm like, this is interesting. So was like, I gotta go tell something. I gotta go tell somebody about this. Like this is intense. So I run back up to the house, and I'm like, you know, telling my dad like, hey, yo, I was down there, and he's like, "You were where?" I'm like, "Down there by the pond." He's like, "You were at the freaking pond?" I'm like, "Yeah, I was at the pond." And
Oh
he's like, "What the
man.
hell are you doing over there?" Like, we're trying to find you this whole time. We were even yelling your name. I'm like, "Oh, you were yelling my name? I didn't hear a damn thing." He's like, "Yeah,
Dude.
no, because that's one of the lures that she prevents anybody, like, for you to hear anyone around you, like your loved
But
ones, like
her.
shit like that, but her."
Yeah.
And I was like, "That's fucking dope." So,
Dude, that is creepy, broski.
That is so creepy.
so
Ugh.
there's that one, and then I have another one when I was like 16. Yeah, I think it was like 16.
We don't want to know about your sexual encounters now.
Yeah, don't worry about those.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Don't worry about those. Um,
Ah.
so at 16, I was living with my grandma, and at the time, she herself. This is my mom's side, so this is my mother's side. My dad's side, grandma, that was Mexico time. This is my mother's side, my grandma from there. She does the same thing. Literally does the exact same thing. She's well known in our neighborhood too, so people would come over all the time, like almost day in day out, to get cleansed and whatever, right? So I would be there, obviously, and since I was staying there, I would see all these random people come in. I'm like, who the fuck are these people? Um, and it would get, what do you call it? They get cleansed, and sometimes it's rare, but sometimes when I would come downstairs, I would hear like growling, kind of like it sounds
Oh
like
no.
growling, like a
Mm.
demonic deep growls, and I would look down the stairs real quick, like I would like take a peek, and I would see my grandma like what looks like she's exercising someone, and just like two, three, four people, in a circle trying to hold this one person down, because they're moving a lot when they're getting splashed with holy water. They get the cross, all the readings from the Bibles, and stuff like that. And I'm like, damn, that's intense. So I'm
Yeah.
like, I kind of believe all this stuff. At this point, I'm starting to slightly believe into it, into this stuff. From the 13 to 16, like little things would happen here and there. But at 16, I started slowly believing into it even more. So I told my dad, like, hey, can I borrow your camcorder? At that time, it's one of those like tape camcorders, like VHS, like little
Oh
CD ones.
yeah. Uh-huh.
So I'm like, can I borrow that? So that's the one he had on hand still. And he was like, yeah, go for it, take it. He gave me a couple tapes, like all brand new, boom, popped them in, battery charger, everything. And I told a buddy of mine, I'm like, hey, you want to go like hunt around for ghosts and stuff, demons, just kind of fuck around. And he's like, where? And I'm like, I'm at grandma's house. I feel like there might be something there because lately the air's been thick. Like when I first was there, it was light, easy, but after I've been seeing all those people and people getting exercise, the air's been getting thick. It was kind of getting hard to breathe to walk in that house. Okay, it felt heavy, felt different.
I
So he's like,
believe
all
it.
right. He's like, I'm down. Let's go. Like, we're 16, so we're kind of, we're kind of stupid too. So I ain't gonna lie, we did drink. We only had like one all can Four Locos at the time when they first came out. So it was basically
Yeah.
chemicals in a can at the time.
Yes.
Oh god.
Blech.
And okay, sorry.
you get blurped?
The blurp.
Is that what that toxic you
Blurp.
butthole? Yes. Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh.
Oh,
And
sorry.
what do you call it? Anyways, so for like that first night, we did just kind of walk around with the camera, blah blah blah, asking questions, saying some shit, nothing. Second night, basically the same thing. We did this for a consecutive week, like a full week, like 7 days straight. It was on the seventh day that everything was different. Like everything changed. He went home, everybody went home, whatever. That anybody that I invited, they went home, blah blah blah. And I was by myself, and I was laying down. Like I just got home too, by the way. Sorry, I was coming home, went in, I laid down on the couch, and I turned on the TV, and this is like 11 p.m., 12 a.m., give or take, when I got home, and I look up the stairs, on the little loft, and I can see this dark shadow, like standing there, and I thought it was my grandma because she stayed upstairs, and normally she walks out when she hears me walk in, she'll be like, "Oh, you were out late," like try not to come. Try not to come in too late next time. Just letting me know stuff like that to be safe, blah blah. And this time she didn't say anything. It was just dead quiet. And I look up and I'm like, "Hey, grandma." sorry I came in late. I'll turn on the TV a little bit, and nothing. It was just quiet. And I looked back
Toxic,
up
you
and
stinker.
gone. Like it literally, like it was like a second. I looked away for literally a second. I looked up, said my piece, looked back down, turned down the volume real quick, looked back up, gone. And I didn't hear no door because her door has a squeaky sound, and the floorboards were kind of squeaky. I didn't hear any of those two, and I'm just like, that's odd. That's kind of weird. And I'm like, huh, thinking about it. So I'm laying there. I look back at the TV, and all of a sudden, I felt like this, like heavy feeling on my stomach, and it started pushing down. And then all of a sudden, I couldn't scream, I couldn't move, I couldn't yell, I couldn't open my mouth. All I can do was look around with my eyeballs, and I was like
Oh,
holding my
no.
breath. And after like 10 seconds, it felt like it just lifted off. And I got up. I was breathing heavy. I was like, "What the fuck was that?" And I freaked for a bit because that's the first time that ever happened to me. So I don't know what's going on with me. And I was 16 years old, and I'm just like, "What the fuck?"
You said that's the first time, so has there been other times that that's happened to you?
Yeah, there has been times, but that was the first time that's ever happened to me. So I freaked, and I didn't sleep that night at all.
I bet.
I stayed awake till I saw my grandma actually walk out her room, and I told her straight up, like, "Grandma, this is what happened. I thought it was you. Was it you?" She's like, "No, I was asleep the whole time. I didn't even realize you got home late." And I was like, "Holy shit!" Well,
Ooh,
this is
no,
what happened.
that gave me chills.
This is what happened, Grandma.
Mhm.
This is what's going on. And she's like, "Okay, I'm gonna cleanse you." So she did the whole like egg thing again. And then after she cleansed me, she cracked the egg into a cup. Added, I don't know what she added to it. I guess it's something that kind of like just to see if there's something in it or not. I don't know how that stuff works. Anyways, when she added it to mine, it takes about like 10 minutes, 20 minutes to see what happens or to see what she can see in it to find out if it's a bad thing or a good thing. And that whole egg turned red and it had a couple little black dots.
I was gonna say,
Oh,
yeah, if it's a bloody
hell.
egg, it's bad. It's real
Yeah.
bad.
So she was like, she looked at me all freaked. She was like, "Oh, okay, we have to exercise like the house, because it's not in you, it's attached to you. It means it's attached to you. If it was full blood dark red, it's in you, like almost black in a sense, then it's in you. But right now it's just dots, and it's red, meaning it's just around you. So she just cleansed around me. She cleansed the house, and after like 3 days, nothing. The house felt lighter. And so I called my buddy over, and I was like, "Hey, we should do another little ghosting now that it's actually a bit lighter. Maybe we might actually catch something different." And he's like, "Okay." So he came over. We had another tall can of Four Lokes, and I'm like, "You know what? Kind of bored." I put the camcorder on a chair, aiming towards the our staircase and like the living room, kitchen area, dining room, and I let it record throughout the night. And I told him, "Hey, you can spend the night if you want, so you don't have to go home all late." And he's like, "For sure." So he slept on the ground, and I was on the couch. Even though I told him I can give you the couch, but he didn't want it. He liked the ground better for some reason. Anyways, whatever. So I'm on the couch, laying down. I'm knocked out by this point, and I woke up in the middle of the night. I looked at my watch because I had a watch on. It was about 2:40 in the morning, like 3 a.m. And I felt different. Like I felt this tingling sensation around my body, and I was like, "This is not normal." So I'm thinking, normally when I have like a tingling sensation like that, it follows up with like nausea, and then nausea follows up with vomiting. But this time it was just a tingling sensation. There was no nausea, there was no vomiting, nothing. So I'm like, this is different. And all of a sudden, like, I thought to myself, there's something here. So I was like, you know what, fuck it, whatever. I have the camcorder, it's recording. I'll let it be. Close my eyes, lay back down, and I heard like a very faint like growl, very faint. And I'm thinking maybe it's a dog's, maybe it could be the dogs next door because there was dogs in the area. But there was no follow up. There was no follow up growl. There was no follow up barking. Nothing. So I'm just like, that's
Oh, my
strange.
goodness.
And then I felt really cold around my ankle, and I felt this tug, like it pulled. And I did move too. I moved a bit, and I was like, "Yo!" So I thought it was my friend for a second because it's dark. So I'm thinking it's my friend fucking with me. So I woke. I was like, I got up. I'm like, hey, what the fuck? And he's like, and he's still there, knocked out. And I slapped him a bit to wake him up.
They were way in the
And he
back.
got up. He's like all groggy and stuff.
They were in
And he's like, what's going on? I'm like, did you just pull my leg? He's like, what? Like, did you
Like,
just pull my leg?
bruh.
And he's like, I've been asleep the whole time. I don't even know what the fuck's going on, bro. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, oh shit. But we weren't in the view of the camera, so I couldn't see. I couldn't like go back to it and check. I'm like, god damn it. And then he's like, I don't know, but I don't feel good. And I was like, wait, are you okay? He's
Oh
like,
no.
I don't feel good. So he got up,
No.
went to the restroom, and I was like,
They're in here now.
are you okay? You know? And he's like, I'm trying to throw up, but I can't throw up. It feels like something's holding it back. Like it doesn't. It's never this hard to throw up. I can't throw up. And I'm like, I don't know. Stick your finger down your throat. He's like, I have. It's not working. Like I don't know what's going on. So I walked to the restroom, and I was like, okay, here's a cup of water. Maybe this might help. I don't know. And then he looked. He was looking at me like scared. Like there was something behind me. Type of scared.
Oh
His face
hell no.
turned white. He started shaking, and I was like looking at him like, what the fuck is wrong
No.
with him? So I like reached for his shoulder, and I was like, I even said this word, "Are you okay?" And as soon as I said that,
Hmm.
I'm waking up, and I'm on the ground, and I have my grandma throwing holy water in my face. My mom's holding me down.
Oh
My,
my
my aunt's
gosh.
holding me down. My two cousins were behind me,
In the back.
like freaked out, and my little sister was crying, and I don't know what the fuck was going on. And I was like, what just happened? And my mom and my grandma were like, you were probably possessed because you were saying words. Do you even know any Latin? I'm like, I don't know no damn thing about Latin. I don't know a single word about Latin.
Oh
Like
no.
you were saying Latin words. We don't know what you were saying, but you were saying Latin words. And I
Holy
was like, what
crap.
the fuck? And I was like, I gotta look at the camera. Like I have to look at the camera because the entry towards the restroom is in view of the camera. So I was like, I have to see that. Maybe something was there, followed. I don't know what. So I go back to the camera as everybody's still kind of like processing what just fucking happened. I'm over here kind of like already over it, you know. So
You're
I
like, next.
I was like, next, so I go to the camera. I stopped it. I rewinded it a good. I told them how long was I out for. They're like, it was just for like 3 minutes, 5 minutes. And I was like, okay, 6, 7 minutes, 8 minutes. Let me put it back. So I was watching it, and I could see when I was trying to talk with my friend, and then that's when I started, I guess, saying some words, kind of like freaking out. And that's when I heard the door open upstairs. My grandma came downstairs, realized what's going on, grabbed her holy Bible, holy water, a cross, went and told my mother. My mother came out of nowhere and was like, "Oh my god!" And then my sister was freaking out. My aunt started freaking out. My cousin was just like, "What's going on?" And my friend's like, "He's fucking dead scared. He's pitch white. Like he's Mexican and light brown, but he's white at this point." And I can see him like he walked out the restroom all freaked, like, "Oh shit!" He was saying, "Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit." And all of a sudden, from the staircase at the top of the staircase, I see this like it's a freaking orb. I can tell you straight up right now, it's a freaking orb. It was coming down because it was blinking. Like the little light, it was blinking. It was going down the stairs slowly, turned around, and then went straight to the restroom. And not long after it went into the restroom is when I woke up.
Hmm.
And I was showing my grandma, and she was like, "That's your guardian angel. He or she came to save you." And I was like,
Wow.
"Damn, that is sick." And that's when I was like, you know what? I kind of believe into this more than I thought I would. So that's when I started actually trying to do this in real life. But I try to avoid having to use the Ouija board or anything more like in a demonic sense or side.
Mm-hmm.
But I would still like kind of would try to see it, you know.
How are you about tarot cards and stuff?
I had tarot card readings done.
Nice. Yeah, I do the tarot card readings, and for me it's just like a message, like a text message kind of from the universe is how I see it. But like Ouija boards, even though I've messed with those in the past, usually it was just me like dicking around and moving it on my cousins and stuff like that to scare them. I don't mess with that stuff in a like serious way at all. Mm-mm.
Gotcha. Fair enough. Fair enough. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
one of the first two that I've
Thank
had.
you.
That's freaking crazy, dude. Like,
Yeah.
my
that's
hair was
insane.
standing straight up like the whole time that you were talking. I'm like, oh great, this is perfect. But I knew you would
Yeah.
have some good stories.
For
Damn.
Good
sure.
round.
That's
Oh, well,
crazy.
yeah, that's their stories. Thanks, thanks for letting me on this.
Yeah, no,
Thank you. We appreciate you.
and you know, Killer, whenever you do some of your IRL streams, send us some videos. That way we can showcase it on our next, our
Yeah,
next
we'll
time.
feature you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, I'll probably do that because I do have just that one that I have for Glen Tavern Inn, here in my town. Uh, I'm gonna do a quick description of the hotel here. The hotel was built in like 1911, 1912. It was during the gold rush, oil mines, stuff like that,
Mhm.
and the hotel was mainly built just for it to be a hotel. And during history, around 1920, um, it was turned into like a makeshift like hospital in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause during that pandemic they had, I forgot which one it was. It was like uh, the measles or something like that, and where
Probably.
a lot of people died. And then around 19, I think it was like 1925 or 1930s or 1940 actually, there was a big flood. The dam broke, and there was a huge flood through the town.
Mhm.
And there was a lot of people that have died. There was over 346 bodies that were found
Oh my
from that flood,
gosh.
and some of them were found like all the way down to like Ventura, like Santa Barbara kind of thing. They floated way out there. So during all the problems that happened, I decided to do a ghost thing.
Y'all gotta go
'Cause
ghost
there's
hunting.
also a story
I'm
where
only a state away.
there
Yes,
was
y'all
a
do,
hooker,
Z. You
or,
definitely do.
the sex worker
He would love to.
Yeah.
Everybody
that
say
was
what's up.
unalived by decapitation.
Whoa.
Oh
And-
god. Ah, you buttholes. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, her
They keep getting you and not me. I love it.
Damn
her
it,
body,
toxic.
yeah, her body was stuffed in a closet on the third floor. The third floor
Eee.
used to be an illegal speakeasy, by the way,
Ooh.
during the
Ooh.
prohibition. So that's where her body was stuffed, and they couldn't find her head,
Toxic,
but they
you
did find the body
stinker.
itself. So there's a lot of stories about her and what she does around the hotel. There's also stories about a little kid that's on the second floor that runs up and down the hallways laughing.
Oh my
Hmm,
gosh.
nope.
So there's
Nope.
that one, and then there's also in the same room, I believe, where the girl was found.
Uh-huh.
There was a cowboy who cheated in a card game. So when he went to that room to sleep,
Ooh.
He got
he
killed.
heard a knock. Yep, he heard a knock on the door. When he opened that door, he got shot twice in the head
Oh my
for
gosh.
cheating.
You say, oh my god.
Sucker. That's what you get.
And so all these little stories you get hearing, I'm like, all right, I'm down. I want to go see this. I want to go see this. I'll get the room. I got the room. I booked the room 307 at Glen Tavern Inn, Santa Paula, California,
Nice.
and
Very cool.
did a couple investigative stuff. I have the video. It shows, kind of just like me and some friends, kind of like asking questions, getting some replies. Some of them are actually pretty like accurate, but not all of them were accurate. There was a moment where I thought I heard something on the radio, so I kneeled over to see it, and as soon as I kneeled over to see it, it replied with
She
kneel,
did.
like kneeling, like kneel. And I
Oh,
was like, that's pretty
wow.
cool.
That is
And then
cool.
I was like, hey, let's go to the lobby real quick and try to get some, some stuff down there. So as I picked up the little, I guess you can call it like a little spare box thing. I started walking, and then by the time I got to the door to open up the door, it says bloody. That's where the guy was shot twice in the head. So I was like, that's pretty accurate. And as I get to the stairs, I heard it was mother, I think, and drowning.
Oh, hell.
Oh.
And I was like, and then I think after that, going down the stairs a little bit more, it said child. And I was like, it could have been a child that wanted its mother while it was drowning during the flood, And then by the time you get to the living room, not the lobby, it just kept repeating the same words because it was kind of accurate to what was in the history, which it kept saying doctor, nurse, patient, like stuff like that.
Because of
She
the
kept repeating
hospital.
those words because there used to be a hospital, and then literally across the street there's a church that was built not long after the hotel was built. I think it was like in 1930. And then you'll hear it saying like father, nun, sister, and then like you'll hear like
god.
You know, like all this like church stuff, and then it would repeat again, like basement, tunnels, walkways, tunnels.
Oh
And I'm
my
like,
god.
I heard stories about there being tunnels underneath that hotel that
Oh,
led to the church, because the building next to the church was a makeshift like location where they would put the bodies. You know, for those who passed, but they didn't want to walk them through the top. They went through this tunnel system, but then they don't show the bodies to everyone else up top. You know, because like I said, makeshift hospital. The last thing you want to see is when you're on your deathbed and you see bodies getting rolled out. You're like, well, shit.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Yeah. You
So-
don't wanna see that.
I was like, damn, all this stuff is pretty freaking accurate. This is insane.
Yes.
That's crazy. Well, by the way, Killer, Z said that him and you, he's only a state away, so y'all definitely need to be doing some scary IRL streams. He's down.
Where we at? Where's he at?
I think he's in. Are you in Arizona?
I'm
Or
in
no-
Arizona.
I think he's in maybe Nevada.
Well, if it's in Nevada, I'm down to go meet you in Nevada. I heard Virginia City, Nevada is one of the haunted places there, and there's a hotel there. I would
We might
love
have to
stay
do
at.
a road trip there, Carmen.
I know. I'm saying, hold up. Wait a minute.
Like,
we all
pause,
need to go.
time out.
Yeah, like Arizona. He's in Arizona.
Okay, Arizona.
Yeah, he's in Arizona.
Nice.
But yeah, like we definitely, this is something that we're wanting to do. And I know, like I said, Toxic is definitely the video guy. You're a video guy as well. And you actually do IRL streams for this. And Z's all about whatever you want to, whenever you want to do, he's down. He's like, hey, I'm always down. So I love
much.
this. Like we have a good amount of people that we could always, you know, rely on, Missy, to be able to help us out and get
Absolutely.
this stuff done. So I'm
And
really
we have
excited.
Superstition Mountain here in Arizona that we can check out.
Ooh.
So
I've
and
never
there's a
seen
few
a
other
mountain.
haunted places.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely we'll have to figure some of that out. And that means, guys, that we need the subs coming in because we're gonna need to fund these road trips
Yes,
to
definitely.
bring you this IRL content. So
Yep.
let's
Get on
let's
that.
keep that in mind. And yeah, let's get on that. And remember, if we get to 100 subs by the cutoff of this month on my channel, we're doing some massive giveaways next month too.
She's doing massive
So.
giveaways. If we get to 100 this month, I will be doing a VR stream.
Ooh.
Yes, and I'm terrified. So let's not hit that, which I don't think we will.
Do
But
it.
if we did,
Do it.
I would do a VR stream. And you know, Killer, you might have to do that VR stream with me because you know I'm a poutine. So definitely. But heck yeah. Well, thank you for coming in, Killer. We do have
Thank
somebody
you.
else waiting, so I want to go ahead and
Alright.
get him in here. But you have fun at work tonight, and again, don't hesitate to send us any kind of things that you run into or happen
Yeah,
to come
anything
by.
you want us to promo and yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, of course.
Help me, step bro. Oh no, he did not.
Okay.
All right, we'll talk soon.
Let's talk soon.
Sounds great.
Hex, you did
Bye.
not have to do that. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's
Aw.
bring in Haxler.
Alrighty.
Yes, I thank you for being. Oh God, what? Did you do that, Missy? Oh,
what?
Hax did. Okay, I'm
Oh.
like, bro, y'all, y'all
I need
just,
to have your stream pulled up too.
dude, y'all are. I have yours pulled up. I have it muted though, so we can
Yeah.
hear and everything. But Hax, we are bringing you in. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Sucks to be you, cause you're on deck. All right. What up?
Welcome and
Welcome.
thank you for that sub. I appreciate you, Hack.
Yes.
Takes me a
Thank
pain in
you.
the ass and won't let me give, so enjoy that.
No,
thank you.
that's more than
You
enough.
know-
I appreciate it. VR, yes, Cinti.
You were gonna
Let's
say,
go.
Missy?
So what I'm hearing
What
is
the
we
hell was
need
that?
to
Oh,
all meet up
it
for
was
some ghost hunting.
Toxic.
Sure,
Scared the hell
Toxic.
out of me again.
That's the goal.
We also do have for Missy Cash App. So just so if anybody's
I'm banned on
wondering,
Cash App, so
you're
yeah,
banned.
don't do that.
PayPal.
I do have
Not even fucking
PayPal.
accepting my fucking gifted subs.
Oh
so
my
what's
god,
going on?
that's terrible.
Yes, I do have PayPal. We both have, I'm sure, our Cash Apps and our PayPals. So y'all are more than welcome to donate there. But once
Down
we
in
do,
my panels.
yes, and once
So
we
you
do
guys
get
can buy
enough,
Freshen Up using Missy's code too.
yes,
Yes,
freshen up.
sir.
With Missy's code. Missy, I need to put that in there. You know how to do a command for that?
Yes.
Um, Yeah.
She needs to get the referral link mainly.
Yeah.
My Botrix is being stupid on mine, but I can
So
add that to our
Botrix is
gameplay.
actually like broken right now.
Yeah,
It's
it's
broken
only
on
like half
everybody.
working.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been broken for the past
Add
week.
com.
But yeah, we have so
Fresh
many people. I love
up.
this because we have so many people that are definitely. Well, you know, I have the scare friends. That's the best part I can say. We have the scary friends on over here because
Yeah.
we all
just
are
'cause I
in the
don't get
same
fun.
thing. And I love the fact that Missy's. I love the fact that Missy's into the tarot cards, the readings, the spiritual aspect of everything. So it's just like a great combination. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes, absolutely.
it's so freaking perfect.
Alright, you guys want me to start off or?
Yeah, go for it.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I grew up in the West Coast. I still live over on the West
Yeah.
Coast. But when I was younger, we moved to a very tiny town, like in the northern PNW area, Pacific Northwest. So that's Oregon, Washington area, for those who don't know. And this tiny town had a huge fire back in 1902. But the thing with this fire is it only touched our city. It didn't touch any of the surrounding cities. Like, it stopped right at the city line.
That's crazy.
Jesus.
So take that how you want to, just knowing that so far.
Mhm.
Okay.
But so me and a group of buddies one night, we were, being
Santi, do
teenagers,
you have a VR?
drinking, all that fun stuff, and we went into the woods. Well, one of the areas of the woods in this town. And we found a little broken down, what appeared to be like a castle. We were told it was a bakery. Some people told us it was like a human trafficking building back in the day.
Ooh, okay.
So I was just like, oh wow, so that's just amazing. And when we were back there, we found all sorts of weird shit. Like, we found clothes that were all torn to shreds. We found chains. We found like all sorts of like
Oh my god.
crazy shit, to say the least, And we found a doll that was sitting in the middle of this castle, like sitting perfectly still. It looked brand new, like it hasn't been touched in years. But it was an older, like, wooden doll.
Mm.
So like I don't know what time period that would have been from, but it definitely wasn't 2018. There's no way that something would be lasting out in Washington area with a huge amount of rain. But basically, so we saw that doll, and that's when shit started to go sideways. And everyone out there, we hunted, we fished, all that fun shit that people do outdoors and all that. So we were setting traps that same night to try and catch coyotes because there were a bunch of them trying to get into my buddy's yard to eat his chickens. And while we were doing that, we ran into what appeared to be a deer. But the deer had like a human-like head.
Hmm.
Like, it had the horns, but like it didn't have like the snout of a deer. You know what I mean, Missy?
Mhm.
Wait, you said it had a human head?
That's what it looked like in the dark. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh my
So
god.
it didn't have the snout, but it still had its antlers. But
Guys,
There's no sound.
definitely
It was
hit that
just
if you
weird as
want
hell.
freshen up. Support my girl
so
Missy.
we
I
didn't even
appreciate
second
you.
guess that. We just
A
kept
Wendigo?
setting up our
Ooh.
traps. And then the next day, we go back to check the traps after we leave, go home, do whatever. And all of our traps got set off, but nothing was caught, which is weird because these were like in the ground traps, like these
Mhm.
were traps that would snap a neck off a coyote. Like full on, like kill him right away, basically. Like they were snare traps. But none of the traps had any animals in them. No coyotes,
wild.
no rabbits, nothing. They were all set off. So we were all just saying, like, what the fuck set these off if nothing's, like, nothing's near
Yeah.
them? Because my buddy was like, hold up. Sorry, Polly sent me some text from Kick.
Yeah. I need to start getting better at it in combat.
But basically, so my buddy's like, yeah, no, I heard the coyotes yelping last night. Like they obviously got hit, but none of the traps had them. So this went on for about a month or two. Basically, we're just trying to figure out why the hell our traps keep getting hit off,
Hmm.
but nothing was actually following through. It just made no sense all around. And eventually, we came to the conclusion that something is in this forest, but we can't figure out what. So one night we go out with hunting rifles, pistols, all that assortment, because we were just gonna camp it out, trying to see what the fuck it was. And it ended up being this deer that I talked about earlier. You know, the one with like the weird fucking snout and shit all over again. I wish I had pictures of this, but it was the most terrifying shit I've ever seen.
My husband said he thinks you saw a Wendigo.
Probably something like that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that sounds like Wendigo.
Yeah.
It's like a creature, mythical creature type thing that well, Karma's husband could probably explain it better than me. I feel like.
Yeah,
It's-
what is a Wendigo, Karma?
Wendigo is it's like it looks like a deer, but it also has like a skull face with the antlers. It's just
Yeah.
really creepy. I can actually share this with you real quick. Share my screen. These are what they're said to look like. Right here.
Let's
So
see, chat. Let's-
So, yeah, it kind of looked exactly like that, except
Oh.
for it was on 4 legs. It was on 2.
yeah,
Like, it was walking like a deer.
yeah, and it sometimes does. Sometimes it looks like this. Like there's just different stories of what its feet look like. Everybody says it looks different. A lot of times it does walk, on 4 legs. Sometimes it doesn't. It just depends. But it's a huge folklore about the Wendigo, and it's a mythical creature. So, my daughter actually draws really good pictures of this, by the way. I need to get some of her pictures, but
It's
yeah.
like, my daughter terrifies me with her drawings of this.
Dude, I'm so used to her creatures. It doesn't terrify me anymore. But yeah, the Wendigo is something that is just kind of crazy. But I can totally see that happening.
Yeah, no, that's basically almost spot on what it looked like. But it's all like the hooves, it didn't have the claws, etc. I
I believe
that's,
it.
That's just one part of this.
Mhm.
And then, because we were teenagers, we like doing dumb shit.
Oh yeah.
So, we went to the graveyards one night with a Ouija board. Missy can probably take a guess at where this is gonna end up going.
Mm-hmm.
But so we brought like the candles, we did like basically the whole ritual for it, and so we were sitting there trying to summon something. Then we were like, okay, we got contact. What is your name? It keeps going back and forth. Z-O, Z-O, Z-O.
Hmm.
I don't know if you know much about Ouija boards or not, Missy, which I'm assuming that you might.
A little bit.
So it kept spelling out Zozo.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, here, let me give an exact description of what it is.
Oh, back there, Junior.
So, Zozo is an ancient demon, which is like the most, let's see. Here, let me just see if I can share my screen. So I don't have to read all this off. Okay, it's not letting me. But basically, this is the most cursed thing that you can go about finding on the Ouija board, and as it speeds up, it's said to attempt to possess you, to sum it up in the long run. But I don't know how to explain it word for word, but basically, like, before we even asked its name, it spelled out run. So that should have been our first sign, like, to get the fuck out of there.
Yes.
But we were like, no, we're gonna keep going. What's your name?
I'm getting
And
better
it
at
just
the...
keeps going Z-O, 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 yada, 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 Zozo, blah, blah, blah. And so we were like, what the fuck? And then when we were sitting there, 2 of the candles broke, because they were like in glass jars. So the glass around them shattered.
Ooh.
And
Freaking
like,
creepy.
we were just saying like, what the fuck? And one of our buddies, she was a female. She's like, we gotta pack this shit up and go. And she goes, don't even take the Ouija board, set fire to it.
Yeah.
And I was like, you sure? And she goes, yes. Leave it fucking there right now. And I was like, all right. So I pulled out my lighter, pulled out a bunch of like newspaper. We got some sticks that were around us. So we like did like the whole pentagram with the candles and shit. And we just fucking burnt that Ouija board there. So we were like, okay, that should be it. No, a week later, my buddy goes, dude, my clock broke. Like, it fell off my wall out of nowhere and just shattered. And I was like, what? And he goes, my clock fell off my wall. And it was like one of those big fucking clocks with a pendulum that swung side to side. Made a noise every hour. So he liked that kind of shit for some reason. And it fell off the wall and broke. But... So that was our first time some shit was wrong.
What the
and
fudge,
then
Toxic?
from there,
You did not
paranormal
have to
shit
do
kept
that.
happening
Oh
to
my
all of us.
gosh. I don't know what's up with my
I kept
alerts,
hearing
by the way.
voices
I'm
outside
sorry,
my
guys.
window,
Holy
'cause I
crap,
had a deck,
Toxic. I appreciate you
leading
so
out of my room,
much.
basically, 'cause it was a nice
You are
house
such
outside
a freaking amazing,
So there's, like, an
amazing
outside
person.
balcony
Thank you,
up on
thank
the
you,
second
thank
story.
you. Holy
Kept hearing
crap.
noises out there, but there was no stairs.
Oh,
but
you're
I
my
kept hearing,
hero.
like,
I
the wood
appreciate you,
creaking
Toxic.
For some reason. It was a new
You the
house.
bomb.
Yeah.
So I was like, text our group chat. I was like,
don't-
the deck.
Yo,
outside
do gang!
is
Oh,
Pick up
God.
the phone!
Screeching and like getting all
Yo.
wild.
What's up?
I was like, what the fuck?
Toxic. I
And
don't
we
know
just kept having
why
that
it's
kind of
not
shit basically
working.
going for months upon months.
Let me
And
see.
that's when I ended up moving away. I haven't heard anything from them since I left. So
Yeah.
That's
Big, big
crazy.
Yeah. That's,
since
Is
I
it
moved, I
working?
haven't seen anything like that. I have had a
I
few
don't
like
hear
street
it.
lights break near me when I'm walking, like from work and shit. From
Yeah, I
when
think
lived in Oregon.
Botrix is down.
So I was
It
like,
is
oh,
not
great, I'm
working.
getting fucking
I am
haunted.
so sorry.
I never paid really any close attention to it, and I ended up moving out on my own. I don't see any of that shit go down, so should be good.
Let me go back.
that's
But
insane.
yeah, that's my creepy story that happened from the age of 11 to 15.
Damn.
Dude, that's crazy. Thank you for sharing it, though, Hacks. I
Thank you
appreciate
so
you.
much.
Thank you, and I'm probably gonna get haunted tonight because I mentioned that motherfucker's name again.
Yeah, it's not working. I love you,
Oh,
Bug.
man.
Hey, Boo, no worries. Yeah, sorry, it's not
It's
working.
alright.
Stinking freaking
Hopefully, you guys get
Botrix,
some
bro.
more stories out.
Yes, thank you. We
Oh, yeah.
appreciate you.
Yes,
course.
thank you,
Anybody
thank you.
else
Adios.
Yeah, anybody else?
want to share?
Anybody else? While we're waiting, I can go ahead and tell another quick story.
Sure.
So it's not like super scary, but at the time it was super scary. So thank you for the follow, Loyal Flare. Ooh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Ooh.
Holy crap, let's go. My Botrix is not working. None of my alerts are working at all whatsoever, by the way. And I do have an alert box, so I don't understand why they're not working. It's
Well,
annoying
say
me.
thank you. Say thank you to Toxic, by the way.
Yes, I did. I
Did you get some
did.
subs? All right, you got him. Okay.
Yes, I did. I was
making sure.
looking while I was listening. It just sucks, dude. Like, I don't understand why it's not working. I even I signed out of Botrix and they came back into Botrix and it's still not working. So I don't know.
It's been the same thing, to be honest, lately too, with the not working. But mine are working. Mine are scaring the hell out of me. Like Santi almost gave me a freaking heart attack earlier.
I love that. I love
Oh
that.
my god.
Well, so this story takes place. So, me and my friend, again, my friend Kirsty, hey, calm down over there, woman. You're Trinity. Woo! She's
Yeah.
like all happy on freaking Rogue. But, so me and my friend Chrissy and my friend Michelle and my friend Brandy, we're all driving okay, well, let's just start off. My friend Chrissy had this beat up old blue, I don't even know, it was some kind of Buick, super old, long car, you know, just one of those super old, long cars, that had, like, the bench seating in the front.
Mm-hmm.
So we're, like, driving around. Don't ask me why we're driving around in this beat-up old car, because who's going to talk to us, number one? And number two, we're, like, sitting there just driving around. And so I'm the scare queen. So I'm like, hey guys, it's like 11:50 at night. I'm supposed to be home by midnight. I'm 15. She's 16. She's a year older than me. And I'm like, guys, we should totally go to the cemetery. I don't know why I thought this was like the best idea ever, but I was like, let's go to the cemetery. Let's go scare ourselves. Blah, 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 blah. Well, I'm thinking it's 10:50, not 11:50. And so we're like, okay, yeah, let's go. So we go and we're like just walking around the cemetery trying to be scary and like trying to scare our other two friends because they're super pootingy. You know, they're like really wussy. And so we're like, okay. And so Chrissy's like scaring Brandy and I'm scaring Michelle and we're just like having the best time ever. And then we decide, like, it's been like 45 minutes that we just been walking around the cemetery. Well, then all of a sudden this thunderstorm comes out of nowhere. And we're like, oh crap, like we're getting drenched, right? So we're like running because we had really walked pretty far out into the cemetery. And so we're like running to the car so we don't get, we're already drenched, but we don't want to get super drenched. And we get into the car and Chrissy is like, she was like, don't get the seats wet. And we're like, okay, yeah, oh, that's going to happen. She was like, well, I have towels in the back because she worked at the amusement park that we have here that has like the water ride. So she always had towels with her. She's like, just grab some towels out of the back seat. And so we all turned around and grabbed the towels, and you could hear this on the front freaking hood. Like that. And we were like, what? Like, now it's almost 1 o'clock at night. We're in the freaking cemetery. And all you hear is that doo-doo, like, on the hood. And we're like, what the fudge? Like, we turn around, right? Because we're all looking at the back. So we turn around and we're looking at the front and we're like looking and we're like, lock the doors because they had those door locks that you had to press down. So we all lock our doors. Oh God! What the French toast, you mother scratchers! Oh my God! Okay. That was Santi, you butthole. And then
kidding me too.
And then we're like sitting there and we're like freaking out and we're like, what the hell was that? And we were like, okay, maybe it was like a tree branch because we were kind of parked under a tree. And we were like, maybe it was a tree like fell because of the bad weather because it was like really windy and just like that. And you could hear like the rain. Oh my God. What? Was that you? Was that you that time?
No.
Oh God.
Nope.
Yargan, give me heartburn. Toxic, you
toxic.
butthole. And then, whatchamacallit, so then she starts her car, and it's not starting. So now, we're here at 1 o'clock at night, in a freaking cemetery, there is a thunderstorm that has bad winds, and we're hearing knocking on the freaking hood, so we're like, what the fudge? And so we're sitting there, and she's like cranking it, right, trying to start it, and it's not starting, and she's like, oh my gosh, I don't want to flood it, because, she had flooded it before, and it takes forever to start. She was like, oh my gosh, and this is before we have cell phones. All we have are pagers, right? Because we're old school, we're old farts. All we have are pagers, so it's not like I can page my mom and let her know, hey, by the way, the reason I'm an hour late is we're stuck, whatever. And so then we hear knocking like this on the back windshield, dude. And we're like, that is not a tree branch. That is not a freaking tree branch. Somebody is out here scaring the badonker-donks off of us, right? Like, we were super scared. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Chrissy, we gotta get the hell out of here. We got, like, now I'm panicking, right? Like, it was fun, all fun and games before, but now it's like, hell no, we gotta go. And she's like, oh my God, like, they're crying in the back. Brandy and Michelle, they're, like, literally crying. They already pissed themselves in her back seat. And it was so funny because Chrissy's like,
oh my God.
Guys, well, now I think we're out of gas because when she's trying to start it, it's showing E. Well, we didn't know, I guess, it's an old car, so her fuel tank actually didn't, we never paid attention.
Register it, yeah.
And so we never paid attention, so now we think we're out of gas, and that's why the car's not starting. And we're like, okay, who's gonna go to the gas station at 1 o'clock at night and there's somebody outside? Like, hell no, we're all like,
who's that?
We're playing, I'm not kidding you, we're playing rock, paper, scissors, like, who's gonna go? And we're sitting there, and Chrissy is like, oh my gosh, she was like, well, Christina, it's you need to go. And I'm like, hell no, I ain't going. She was like, well, you're the one that got us out here. We wouldn't be in this predicament if it wasn't for you. And I was like, damn it, she's so right, dude. And so I'm like, okay, and I'm about to go, and I was like, dude, just start the car one more time. Let's just try it, because by now it's already 1:35. Like, we've been there for 35 minutes hearing all these scary, like, sounds and stuff. And so she cranks it, and it doesn't start. And I was like, please, dear Lord. I'm like praying, dude. I'm like praying, please, dear Lord, please start. Please start. And then it starts. And we're like, let's go. And we get to my house.
Hallelujah.
Dude, and what was crazy is we get to the house, and so her car was nasty, okay? She didn't take care of it because it was an old beater. Didn't care for it. Has, like, stains and stuff like that. Even though it's raining, like, there's still, like, caked mud and stuff. But you could see where there were, like, fingerprints on the car, on the back of the windshield. I am not kidding you, because my mom did not believe us. And my mom was like, you're going to be grounded for 2 weeks? How dare you sit there and spit in my face by not showing up at midnight? You know, like, my mom was pissed. And now it's like 2 o'clock by the time I get home. I'm 2 hours late. And we were like, no, you don't understand. Like, people were knocking on the, because she dropped me off first. And she was like, people were knocking on the thing. We were at the cemetery, and my mom was like, well, prove it. There's no way you can prove it. And Chrissy was like, hell, maybe there's fingerprints or something. So sure enough, we went, and you could see where, like, the little knocks were on the window, and you could see where something banged on the hood. And it wasn't a branch. It looked like a hand, kind of like a palm on the hood.
Right.
And so that was, like, terrifying. Now, was somebody scaring us? I don't know. Was it a ghostly encounter?
I don't know.
I have no idea. But regardless, I mean, my friends peed themselves, so it was worth it. But still, it was kind of terrifying. But that was my scary story.
So, speaking of trying to scare people, we used to, go to this lake growing up. It was, my aunt and uncle, my grandmother's best friend, and my grandfather's brother. They all used to hang out together and stuff. They were really close. But my Aunt Jenny and Uncle Skippy owned this mobile home, like camper kind of thing, on a piece of land at this lake. So every summer we would basically practically live there. Like, we lived in our bathing suits and just were there as much as possible throughout the summer. Just living the feral lake life, you know. And so we would take out the little dinghy paddle boat and go fishing, or we would take the canoe out, basically like a rowboat kind of a thing. We would take that out, and there was also a floating dock out in not the middle of the lake, but just like maybe 15 feet out from the dock, 20 feet out from the dock. There was a floating dock, and you could swim out there and climb on it and hang out and stuff. And at one point I was trying to scare my cousins and my sisters. And so I told them this story about how this guy, he was kidnapping children. And he had an airplane, like a single propeller airplane. And he crashed into the lake. And so, to this day, I said, he would reach up and pull you down if you swam over top of where his plane was.
Oh, hell no. Hell no!
And it's completely made up. Like, completely made up. And I was like, yeah, if you go over into that corner of the lake, you'll see it. But don't get too close. Well, one day we're going around the lake, and it's a pretty good sized lake, honestly, and ironically called Crystal Lake.
Shut up! Really? That's dope. I like that. Okay.
Same name, everything. So yeah, very creepy. But we were going around the lake in the paddle boat and fishing and just horsing around and doing whatever. Smoking our cigarettes because we were bad kids.
I know about that.
Yeah. So we get over in that area, and I didn't realize we'd gone so far that we were there. And there's actually like some fallen trees or something under the water. But it looks like it could be something like a small airplane or something like that. In that area that I had said don't go over there because that's where his plane crashed. I didn't know there was anything there, but there is.
Damn.
And so I freaked myself out more than anything, because once we got over there, the whole lake just got like quiet.
Oof.
Like, you know, the birds and all that, it got quiet.
Just silenced.
And I'm like, let's get the frig out of here because I ain't getting snatched. I was so
Right?
convinced he was gonna reach up and pull the whole boat down with us with it, and just completely. Jesus Christ, Karma! Oh, you heifer!
Payback's a B. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead. Sorry.
Wait till I have more points. Damn
Oh,
it!
Billy.
Wait till I have more points.
Oh man.
Oh, Jesus! Oh, you scared the hell out of me.
Tinkle
But
tap.
yeah, and so, we told my dad about it, and he goes, that's actually what really happened. And I'm like, no, it's not. I made it up.
Oh Lord.
So yeah, terrifying, that there was actually something down there. And this is why I don't like water very much, especially if it's deeper than, like, me being able to touch the bottom. Don't like it at all. We were on Lake Champlain one time, and I don't know if you know anything about Lake Champlain. It's the border between Vermont and New York. But it's said that there's a sort of Loch Ness Monster type creature in Lake Champlain.
A Loch Ness monster?
Not like a huge thing like in Loch Ness in Scotland, like they projected that thing is huge. But there's some sort of creature, like a sea monster type thing, in the lake.
Damn.
And his name is Champ.
Oh gosh.
And I have seen Champ. Like, I'm not even joking, I've seen him. We were in a boat, and my grandpa was fishing.
Uh-huh.
And as we were traveling in the boat, so we're going at a decent speed.
Mm-hmm.
Hello? Oh my Jesus, Santi, you scared me. It did the blurb sound where it was the Discord, and then, hey guys, what's going on?
Oh my gosh.
The one that I get everybody else with, I just got.
You just got
I'm like,
got.
hello? But yeah, we were going at a decent speed, and I looked down, and there was this big shadow in the water.
Mm-mm.
That was not the shape of, like, the boat, so it wasn't the boat making the shadow,
Mm-hmm.
or anything like that. It was just this weird, like, organic shape with some sort of living thing. And it changed, like it was something swimming. And it was going right along with the boat. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I saw Champ.
That's crazy, dude.
And that's why I don't like the water.
Yeah.
You don't know what's in there, really. You don't.
Well, we're
Shark,
just a bunch
anything?
of, we play too much. We play too much. We make up, you know what I mean? Like, within our family and stuff like that. And it always comes back to us, unfortunately. I truly believe in that. But, like, you know, like, scaring my friends and my family and stuff like that, things happen. Do we have anybody else that wanted to tell a story, though, before I keep going?
I don't see anybody in the queue.
Okay.
I mean, Hacks and Toxic are just hanging out in the lobby.
Yeah.
But, does anybody else want to share? Anybody in the chat?
Anyone else? If not, I'm not sure how much longer you're wanting to go. I know that, guys, that we are going to be doing our Friday night
Yeah.
Fright podcast that we have coming up. So it will be starting at 8:30 on Friday. So you definitely want to come out for that. It is going to be not like this. We're not going to be having like, you know, our horror stories, but it is going to be about a story that I think that y'all would really find intriguing and interesting.
It's gonna scare the crap out of you.
Yes,
Because
definitely.
It's gonna scare the crap out of me.
Definitely.
And it's one that's kind of near and dear to me a little bit too. Because my mother had actually gone to the location at one point and told me about it. So
Yeah.
it'd be cool if we can get my mom in here to tell us about that. But my
That would
mom
be
had a stroke
dope.
a few years ago, so
Oh, I'm sorry.
recall of like beach is not good for her. But
Mhm.
thankfully, I got to hear about it before all that. So,
Wow.
what do you guys want to know? What the episode's going to be about? You want a sneak peek? Not a sneak peek, but a sneak info drop.
Definitely.
Put a 1 in both chats. Anybody in each chat, put a 1 in the chat if you want to hear what we got planned for Friday.
Toxic? You little
Toxic wants to
stinker.
know.
Oh,
Toxic really wants to know.
I got in trouble on that one. My bad. Eraser wants to know too.
All right, so we are going to be talking about the Amityville House.
Yes.
The myth, the legend, the truth behind it.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to dive deep into the Amityville House. Dun, dun, dun.
And I'm super excited because I have watched I think I've watched every single movie of Amityville Horror.
Mhm.
So I want to be
I
able to
haven't seen the
relate.
new ones.
You have what?
I haven't seen the new ones. I've only seen the classics.
Gotcha.
Or maybe we can do a Discord movie night over the weekend if we get a good turnout on Friday.
Heck yeah, I'm totally down to do that. But yeah, so Amityville, like, I want to be able to see, because I know a lot of the backstory on Amityville, and I want to see how much of that actually comes into the movie. So, honestly,
You
Yeah.
know what?
what?
If we get 10 subs each on Friday, we will do all of the Amityville movies in Discord chat. How does that sound?
I think that sounds pretty legit. But yes, I'm telling you, like, Amityville is one of the most I gave 5 tonight. Can that count? Honestly,
I mean,
that's fair. That's fair.
Oh, well, thank you for the follow, Mr. Karma Puppy.
I'm obviously joking. No, I'm saying I think it's fair, but I think what we should do is maybe do 2 Amityvilles because there are a ton of them. There is
Yeah.
probably like 8 to 10 Amityvilles out there. So I
maybe we'll talk about that and pick out which one.
would definitely
Or
the
maybe we
first
could do
one.
them both.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm thinking definitely the first one though because that does showcase the house in all its glory. So I think that would be a great one because there's like Amityville Time, Amityville, you know, there's just so many different aspects of Amityville horror that they've done. So I wanted to really strictly kind of pare down to the actual story itself because that's what was so intriguing to me was the true life story of the Amityville horror, what actually took place there. And I want to compare it. If I'm being honest, I want to compare our research to what we see maybe Saturday or Sunday, depending on when you want to do it.
Absolutely. I think Saturday might be the best bet.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Because I know our Friday streams for the podcast are going to probably go a little bit late because there's so much information.
Oh, yeah.
So we won't have time to do it on Friday night. But yeah, Saturday, we can do the movie marathon for sure if we get those 10 subs each. I think that'll be reasonable.
Yes, I do too. I do
Yeah.
too. But
And
yeah,
maybe we'll do a horror giveaway if we reach that goal too.
yeah.
We'll see.
I just I think it would be something that would be really fun and interesting just to showcase, and So that is definitely what we're gonna do. No, Christopher, you little sucker face. Did you see what my
Yeah,
husband
we're giving you away.
put? Yeah, you and your big lips.
Yeah.
They're really good for something. That's what I heard too. Wow, Colton. How are you, Colton?
Jackie here. Jackie, do you have a story for us? Do you want to share a scary story?
Yeah, Colton as well. Do you have a scary story for us? We're showcasing scary stories. How much for Eraser? Man, he's only worth $5.
Screw that, get the bag. He's worth $10.
$10, make you holla. But yeah, Colton, we're doing scary stories. I bet Colton has some. He's a nurse. So I can just imagine his horror stories, like working at the hospital and stuff. He pays 25% of the bills he's in. Oh, my Lanta. Oh, Billy. You guys are nutty. Hey, Colton.
Anybody that wants to share your story, click that link to the Discord in my chat. We'll get you in the lobby and we'll pull you in.
Actually, I wasn't supposed to shout you out, but yeah, guys, go drop a follow for Colton. We're trying to get him to come over to kick. But
Okay.
I have Missy and it's not working. Why is it not working? Botrix, you're being a butthole.
For the Discord?
No, I'm just trying to shout you out so people can come drop a follow on you. My horror stories are sad and grim. I mean, if it's like a creep, do you have like ghostly horror stories? Not like somebody passed away and, you know, it happened. Like, or do you have like somebody passed away and then like something scary happened afterwards? Like a light turned off or a door opened? Eraser, I would love for you to come and tell us one of your scary stories, but you're being a butthole. We'll join you guys next time? Okay. We have a room that is haunted, apparently. Would you like to share your scary story and come into the Discord and just kind of talk it with us? What about Jackie? How's Jackie over there?
Key, do you want to come join us? I think she just popped in. I'm not sure.
In and out? In and out? Let's go.
In-N-Out Burgers.
That actually sounds good right now. I have never seen it, to be honest. People see a child walking around.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I'll tell you, okay, so I'll tell you the one story real quick about work. I worked at the hospital, but also it happens with hospital delirium. Oh, I got you. Well, this actually happened. It was my first day going to work. I was working for a section of the hospital, and it was my first day. And I was 10 minutes late getting to the actual office that I was supposed to be at. That was literally on the second floor, so it shouldn't have taken that long. And I was there 15 minutes early. But as I was going in the elevator, I literally started seeing all the buttons getting pressed. Like, all of them.
Oh, no.
But it was 8 floors. The elevator was 8 floors high. And it wasn't getting pressed above a certain... I think the 7th and 8th floor couldn't get pressed. Because apparently the floor that I was working on was where... It was the old children's hospital. And the little kid couldn't reach the buttons. They said that they had actually seen this child, and it couldn't reach the buttons, so it would only go up to the 6th floor. But then it took forever because every time we would go to the 6th floor, then the buttons would get repressed. So I was riding the elevator for 25 minutes.
Nope. I'd be like, let me off. I'm done. I'll take the stairs.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was like...
Oh, I could tell them my UFO story, too. I got a bunch of stories.
I know you got a bunch of stories. You want to tell us one right now?
I've got a Bigfoot story.
How do you... Bigfoot? What, you saw yourself?
I got a Chupacabra story.
Mirror.
I got... Just kidding. But I do have a UFO, and then I have a lot of ghost stuff.
I know you have
Like
one. You want to give us one just for a teaser?
Next time. Karma's sister, spooky sister.
Karma Super...
Time.
Such a dork. Oh my gosh, this knucklehead over here, I swear. He's a goofball.
So my mom used to work at a, Oh, hi, Smokey. Yes, Arizona does suck.
What?
So no worries, Jackie. No worries. We're just happy you're here. Smokey, do you have a scary story, scary but true, that you want to share with us? But yeah, my mom used to work as a nurse, an LPN at a fireman's home. She preferred working with older people.
Colton, you
instead of
stinker.
working
I
with
see that.
too heartbreaking to work with
Butthead.
kids.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so she had seen a lot of crazy stuff through the years at the fireman's home and stuff. And one of the things was the old lady on the one floor. Anytime
scary,
somebody was
toxic.
going to pass, this old woman would get really agitated, and so they would sedate her, and she'd get that agitated, but they would always find her in the hallway in the middle of the night, even though she was sedated, and she would just be standing outside the person's room that was going to die.
Damn.
You know, it's like no matter how much they gave her of sleeping medicine, she would always end up wandering the hall and just hanging out outside, just standing.
Come tell us your story, broski.
Right outside the doorways.
Come join the Discord. Go in
And
waiting
within,
lobby. I'll
like,
drag
an
you in.
hour, the code blue would be called.
That's crazy.
Yep. Every time.
Toxic said, "Oh crap! There is a hotel in Boston that when you check in, they tell you one of the elevators is haunted, and it will randomly take you to the floor 11, where someone jumped out of the window. That is creepy. Yeah, it's called Liberty Hotel. Used to be a colonial prison. A prison? Oh, Billy.
Yep.
And Colton also said, I bet seeing Karma in the morning is a horror story of its own. Wow.
That's not nice.
You little sucker faces. I swear. You guys are great. I love it. Dude, I'm telling you, there are so many stories. Like, think about all the horror movies that have, oh my gosh. Was that you?
That one was me.
That was you. I thought it was you in Discord because we have that as a Discord sound.
Finally.
You sucker. Wow.
Finally.
Oh gosh. She came after me. How very dare. But no, like there are so many things, and not only that, it's not just about like horror stories. There are so many, alien stories, Bigfoot stories, Chupacabra stories, Lorena stories. Lorena, sorry, Lorena.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm thinking of Lorena Bobbitt. My bad.
What kind of Latina woman are you? Llorona.
Lorona.
The L's make the Y sound.
Yeah.
Llorona.
I'm the whitest Hispanic you will ever meet in your entire life. I will tell you that. I can't even eat hot sauce, okay? I am so white, it's too hot for me. I can't handle the heat. I gotta get out of the kitchen. I'm telling you, the hot sauce I got tonight, we had a burrito, and the hot sauce was just Colton True. Wow, rude. He knows me too well. But yeah, there's, if you think about all the stories that there are, and not only that, like how many creatures have we not even seen yet? You could just go on and on, like the Wendigo. Like there's a reason. Somebody's seen it.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, Billy, who did that one?
Not it.
Not it. Toxic. Of course you did, Toxic. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I like doing this, and I like hearing the stories from our friends and family.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I feel like this is going really well. Colton, come tell us a story. Just one. Come share one story with us. He's just like true and nothing else. Little sucker. I bet he's on like New World or something. He's probably gaming out. I don't have any good ones. They don't have to be good. Have you heard mine? Mine aren't great. Yeah, my husband has a ton though. Like a ton of horror stories that he
Give
can
him
tell.
his own episode.
I know. He could totally talk. I'll have you know I haven't played New World in like 2 weeks. Ooh. Watch out. Look at you. Get it, Colton. Get it. Get it, Colton. Get it. But yeah, how about on your end? Anybody wanna share a story?
I don't think I have anybody unless Smokey decides he wants
No,
to
it's
tell
not
a
done yet.
story.
Okay.
Because Jackie said, I have a really boring life, lol, so I don't have anything scary. Smokey said, one time at band camp,
Oh, both on this side, both over here.
That's not a spooky story. That's a get down, get freaky story.
Bam, bam, bam.
Yes.
So just a reminder, guys, 100 subs to Missy by the end of the month here, the pick month, which I believe is the 27th. So 4 days. We got 4 days to go. If we get to 100 subs by then, we are doing massive giveaways throughout the month of September. Right now we're at 26. Thank you guys for that. I appreciate you. But yeah, we got a couple days to go. We've got our Friday stream. And if we get 10 subs each, Karma and I, then we will be doing the Amityville horror movies, a couple of those, on Discord over the weekend.
Yes. And if I hit 100 subs by the end of
Yes.
this month, I will be doing a VR stream. And I will be terrified. I do have a game in mind. However, if somebody wants to play with me whenever I do VR, I would be willing to play Phasmophobia. So we could make it like a community event. If, we got up to 4 people that wanted to come join me, you're more than welcome to. So I'm not like scared and have a heart attack on stream. Because VR is terrifying. But if not, I do have a couple of VR games that I was wanting to try out. But yes, if we hit 100, we are at 23 out of the 100 right now. So, yeah, that would be mine.
We're neck and neck this month.
I know. I love it. It's actually really good for us.
Yes.
But I will say, I appreciate everybody for coming. The world is full of mysteries that are that even the brightest minds can't even explain. So whether you're a skeptic or a true believer, these tales will surely give you something to ponder as you lay in bed tonight. Eyes darting to every shadow, because they do that.
And who knows, perhaps a friendly ghost will drop by for a visit. So until next time, stay curious and keep your flashlight handy.
And as always, listeners, may your nights be spooky, your coffee strong. Thanks for joining us for another hair-raising episode of Spooky Sisters Podcast.
Bam, bam.
Who are you rating out to, my dear?
I was thinking, let's see, because they went offline. So that's out of the question. Let's do...
I see someone. I see people.
So, we are in talks with Thorough Kill Gaming to join us on the podcast. Do you think we should maybe raid her?
We
Or-
could.
Or who are you thinking?
Well, we got 2 people that are part of our little group that are live right now. So I was thinking Yami.
Yummy. Or, here's my thought.
Mm-hmm.
What if one of us does Yami and the other one does the other?
That works for me.
There's a love.
I will do
You know what I
Yami because I don't have that other person, and you need to send me their
Gotcha.
link so I can definitely go in there
Yeah.
and follow. But yes, so yeah,
Sounds like a plan.
yes.
Chat, thank you for coming in tonight. I appreciate you and love you all.
Yes, guys,
We're gonna
thank
go
you.
visit a new friend and let's show her some love and make her want to come and join the podcast.
I appreciate all of you so much, and
Who
Wait.
did that?
actually send it to me because I don't see Yami anymore.
Uh-oh. It's, yeah, let me... Type it in the
Wait,
Discord
did
real
it push
quick.
him somewhere else?
Oh, he might have got.
Oh, he's at
bumped
the
up.
top. Okay, no, I got him. We're good. All right, guys, we are going to go right out to Yummy Doos. I appreciate all of you. He is part of the group, so we definitely want to show the love, show the support. Appreciate all of you again. We will be live this Friday, so you definitely want to come out for the Amityville Horror. We're going to do, talk about the investigation. We're going to talk about the actual movie. And if we do get 10 subs each, then we will be able to do a Discord stream of the movie itself. And maybe another movie. So we would love to see y'all there. I appreciate everybody that came out. Thank you, Toxic. Thank you, Hacks, for the subs. Thank you to everybody for the follows. You guys are the real deals. We love you. Mwah. Peace, guys. Have a great night. Bye.